Hello, everyone. How's it going? Sorry for the delay there. I was mildly delayed, and then I realized that we didn't update something between the casting shift, so I had to go Photoshop something real quick. And then I had to set up all the other great stuff for tonight, which I will show you in good order in just a couple of minutes. Let me close that down. Boop. So yeah, sorry we're a couple minutes late. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. Tonight's game is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm glad you're here with us. And I'm going to set a good example by muting my phone. Okay, cool.
I'm putting pages in the front of my notebook,
all right,
so that I can actually write them down.
All right, folks, who's ready to do... Yeah, it's 7:04 right now. We got plenty of time.
7:04.
It's as always 7:04 in Philadelphia.
24.
All right, so our sound should be coming across okay. Sorry, it's been forever since we played Hexador, so I really didn't remember that I had to do all these checks. Also, a quick reminder that we have new systems now. If you are donating to the stream for things, there are now determination instead of inspiration, although all of you will be starting with a point of inspiration tonight. There is also Hurt Them More, which gives me special abilities basically just to cheat. It's really non-quantifiable. Like, I can take extra actions, I can move myself in the initiative, etc. I can do whatever I want if you buy me that, which I love. Buy it for me. It's great. And with that, I think it is time for us to actually start the game. Y'all ready?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, get your coffee, get your waters.
Trying to remember how to play Kaylin.
Quiet.
That's a mood.
She's kind of quiet.
Quiet, reserved, very observant.
How to play Lucky.
Stupid.
Go take a shot of something, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
You've already got determination, too.
Yep.
All right, and do I have all of you in Roll20?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. All right, folks, then let us get kicking this off in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Secret of Hexador House. This is episode 10, if you can believe it. We finally are running again after, what, a month off? Something like that? A month and a half off? It has been a while since our last playthrough.
It's a pandemic.
It's a pandemic, and this game is cursed. So, hey. Folks, I am really excited to be back doing this. Let me introduce myself. I am your Dungeon Master, Kelly. I use he and him pronouns, and I am very, very happy to be doing this tonight because this is a fantastic episode that I have been excited about doing for quite a while. Hopefully, you will enjoy it too. Without further ado, though, I want to introduce the cast of the Secret of Hexador House, the Flying Jackals. Not just a nickname, that is actually their adventuring guild name. It's like the Flying Jackals and Yes Fiend. So it's kind of like a Josie and the Pussycats kind of thing.
Yeah.
So why don't we go ahead and go through in reverse order tonight. Hello, Kel.
Hey, hello, I'm Kel. I use she, her pronouns. I play Pippi Riverstone. She's also a she, her. She's a gnomish bard. Oh, I forgot to say that I live up the road, because I do.
No, we know you from up the road, because that's going to be the name of your YouTube channel.
You know me from up the road. Yeah, my I don't know. It's I don't know what it's going to be. It'll be, knitting, murder, a little of this, little of that. Is this
like an Etsy murder thing, or like how is this murder coming about?
Commission murder? No, you're not allowed to do that. Nope.
Isn't it like a how-to?
No, it's not a how-to.
There's already a show about that.
Yeah, there's already how-tos about that. Yeah,
you should totally have a knitting cam on your hands and another one looking at you, and you just chat with the chat about murder stuff.
Oh, that's kind of the idea. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right,
I'll watch that
murder podcast. A little bit, what I'm making.
Have it where the main back video is your hands knitting,
whatever I'm doing.
But then up in the top corner is you or something.
I think that could be good.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right then. Hello, Robin.
Hello, I'm Robin. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Yes Fiend, Yes Fine. I really forget what our pronunciation of her name is. It was
Yes Fiend, but whatever
yes
works
Fiend.
for you.
We'll go with Yes Fiend. And yeah, the half elf rogue mastermind class. That's what I'm playing.
That's right.
It's basically Sherlock Holmes, which I am using the Deerstalker that Kelly gifted to me like a month and a half ago.
Hello and welcome back to the Secret of Hexador House. When did it die? I was adjusting something in Roll20 and then the world ended. So
I think it was right as we switched to Lucky.
Well, of course it was.
Yes.
All right, unlucky
Lucky.
sixpence.
Lucky.
Okay.
All right, so let's say hello to Amy.
Was it my fault? Oh no.
You'll never know.
That's when you say, "Did I do that?"
I don't know. Lucky has power that cannot be contained. Hi, I am Amy. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I am playing Lucky Sixpence, our Tabaxi Eldritch Knight fighter.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Your mic's acting a little funny tonight, Amy.
What are we not saying? What's it doing?
You're kind of. Are you on your mic?
Yeah.
You sound a bit muffled.
You sound a bit muffled, and you sound like you're kind of coming in and out, like you're cutting a bit.
Oh, and Kel, your table is awful.
Oh,
What?
sorry. I was just bringing the.
Yeah,
No,
double.
microphone's the same. Let me
Okay.
just make sure that's. Hello? Did I fix it? Did I
Sounding
literally just
better.
Sound better, yeah.
It sounds better. I'd just move it a little bit closer to you.
Hello, the microphone is right here.
That is much better as it just was.
I don't know. Should I take it from the top, or do we just gonna move on?
I think we're just gonna move on. We're fine.
Okay.
I was noticing that Christine was having a little bit of the same issue actually when we were just chatting beforehand, but we'll do that in just a sec to double check. So hello, Christine.
Wait, did we get through all of Lucky's
Did we
introduction?
get through all of Lucky? Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're on top of it.
Hello, I'm Christine. I go by she, her, and I am playing Kaylin Anastasia. She is our drow sorceress
All right,
of the draconic background.
that's fantastic. All right, so sorry about the exploding stream there earlier, folks. We are back and we are happy to be here. So the Secret of Hexador House is set in the island capital city of Port Echidna, down on the continent of Dione, which is roughly analogous to, say, like Australia. It is a settlement that was founded by pirates some hundreds of years ago, and since then it has remained a kind of, if you ever played Assassin's Creed Syndicate, that kind of vibe of London. Technology has advanced to the point where you have things like rails and the beginnings of horseless carriages, things like that, and there is a booming laudanum trade, which nobody has really indulged in yet. It's too bad. They give you great amounts of temporary hit points. There's never a downside either.
Oh no.
Sure.
I mean, if you
Knowing what laudanum is.
well, I mean, if you stop drinking it, yeah, but like, why would you ever stop? It's just opium wana. Anyway,
It's opium dissolved in alcohol.
yeah, with
sounds great.
potentially
Not good.
THC, because they mixed everything back in the day.
Yeah. No, it was bad.
Have
Bad
problems,
stuff.
throw drugs at it. It's fine.
Exactly. Baby can't sleep. Give him opium.
Toothpaste.
Hell,
Have
baby.
cocaine.
Yeah, baby won't wake up from the opium. Give them cocaine. Like it's.
Yeah, your uppers and your downers. You gotta balance them out.
You gotta. This is a joke, but it's actually factual. So hey,
Yeah.
go check
And
some.
medicine was any number of weird herbs and garbage dissolved in alcohol.
Yep.
Speaking
Copious
of
amounts of
Full
alcohol.
so many drugs. All right, so the Secret of Hexador House follows the several members of the Hexador School for Magically Gifted Girls, I believe is what it was called, who inherit the house after the death of Magnus Vex, the former headmaster, only to find that the school is many thousands of gold coins in debt to the city and to other nefarious individuals. In order to keep the house, the characters are going to have to find a way to make that money back, while also uncovering the secret of the house, which ties into the death of the headmaster somehow. In this, they've taken a number of jobs, finding that there are some strange connections between the house and the city. They have encountered things like bugbear gangsters. They have fought literal demons alongside an ex-school teacher to help them do basically extracurricular research. They are... I mean, you guys have done a ton of stuff. What else would you like to remember and remind yourself that you've done recently? What was the
I
last thing?
successfully used Misty Step
That's true.
Yeah?
You did.
just earlier today, essentially.
I mean, we're going to an opera tonight.
You
He
are.
killed my mom.
Someone killed your mom. That's true.
Someone
You didn't
killed your
kill
mom.
Someone did.
No, she
Someone
didn't
did.
kill
No,
her.
I meant you as in Kelly.
Oh.
Killed my mom.
The abstract you of the
universe.
NPC exists.
The
Yes.
universe.
Right, and we agreed to poison Bianca Sellas,
Yes, and I have the
which
poison.
you have the poison, and I'll take 20k off of our debt.
It's a heck of a way to do it, but
I mean,
I'm kind of tempted to just be like, yo, here's who wanted to poison you. Here's who we're trying to do it. Here's the
Yeah.
thing.
but that won't get the 20k off of our debt.
She
no,
might
but
do
it might give us more.
Oh,
I just
let's
wanna
see what
find-
happens.
Yeah.
I'm just here to
Alright.
solve the mystery.
All right. So tonight, you are all headed to the opera at the Sellas Opera House, the perfect place to find Bianca Sellas and her brother Ashfield. Now, as you're preparing to head out, you were also approached by some individuals who agreed to pay you to kill off Bianca Sellas in order to equal quite a bit of your debt. Someone from the Black Spider Syndicate. Do you remember who was the person who wanted to pay you to do this?
Ooh.
Remember being asked.
Destrian?
Destrian
Right.
Drake was doing
Yeah.
it on behalf of someone. I think you figured
Ooh.
out.
I mean, I've got Felmoral Moonblight. Electra. Kappa Electra.
Kappa Electra, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That is correct. And do you have any questions before we begin? Anything you'd like to ask about the city, just to remind yourself, because it has been a bit of time.
Bit.
And just confirming we did have a long rest between.
Yes, you will have time
Yes.
for a long rest, and you will have about an hour and a half to do anything else you want to do if you want to go around. And also, hello, Raid. Good to see you there. Perfect timing.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. If there's anything else that you want to do before you head out. So why don't we go ahead and kick it there. You've returned and have been given your clothing for the evening by Bianca Sellas, and find yourself within the walls of Hexador House once more. The front door is rough on its hinges and creaks open. And as you re-enter the room as you re-enter the foyer, Gomery, your house warden, comes forward on his cane. Hello, mistresses. Did you pick up the potatoes?
Potatoes.
You did not pick up the potatoes.
Oh, shoot. I forgot the potatoes.
Are those evening gowns?
Yeah.
Yes, sadly, they are not potatoes.
We're going to the opera.
Yeah,
Invited, instructed to attend the opera?
voluntold?
I see.
Sorry.
You know, maybe one of the pages could do us a favor and go get the potatoes. They said they'd do whatever we needed them to do.
That's true.
I'll send them to go get the potatoes.
The pages?
Make a list. Make a list, Gomery. Maybe we could get them to pick that up.
The Sellas family
Yes.
are.
You're making arrangements with the Sellas family?
Well,
How have you managed to do such a thing? Such vaunted positions. I would not think they would deign to come down to our level.
They sent someone on their behalf, of course.
Yes.
yeah.
It wasn't them. It was a
They seem to think that we
Messenger.
have something that they want, or
And
that we can help
seem
them find what they're looking for.
to think we can help protect them from something. It's weird. I don't get
I see.
Tweety noble types.
Well, yes,
that's agreed.
I suppose I could procure a list of things that we need. Definitely could use some more lard. I was going to make cookies.
Oh, that would be very nice. I'm sure the
Ooh.
girls would love that.
Yes, of
I would like them
course.
too.
The girls.
Or for you.
I was going to make butterscotch walnut cookies.
You don't have to tell them. We won't tell them.
Yes,
They
thank
might
you.
smell it though. Justify.
Do it after they go to bed.
Yes. Please. I've remade your quarters and cleaned up after your scuffle with that drow woman who most
Goodness, thank you.
Miss Moonblight.
yes who most unceremoniously entered the premises.
Oh yes, I forgot to ask. May I stay in this house?
I think it's probably a good idea.
Eh, there's space. There's lots of empty rooms.
Yes, Miss Blaze, I will be happy to arrange that. Just give me a few moments to set up.
Take your time.
Would you care to be on the same floor as everyone else, or?
Did my mother have any? Did she have a spare room or anything when she was a
just a
professor here?
classroom, ma'am. She generally lived close enough that she could simply take the rail home. Or perhaps a carriage. She never stayed over to speak of.
Then a room up with everyone else should be quite acceptable.
Yes. Very good. I believe there is a room that was used by Beneficia, one of our previous girls who left recently. I will set it up immediately. And he begins hobbling toward the stairwell.
I don't think there's any rush. I think we're going to be a little while.
No. Work makes me happy. I am old, not obsolete. And Galmarie will head upstairs and begin working. It is the middle of the afternoon right now. Well, the beginning of the afternoon, one might say. A little bit past the 12th stroke. And as you are waiting here, you have a number of hours ahead of you. About 8 before you need to be at the opera. I know that we probably said something differently before, but hell, it's been a month and a half. We're going to retcon that and say that you have more time than you thought.
Sounds about right.
Sounds good.
All right. So with that, what do you do with your spare time?
I think we figured out that the dress originally intended for Safia needed to be taken in. So Lucky's gonna try and help.
Okay. What I would like is for everyone who is doing this, let's go ahead and make this a... What the hell would this be? They got rid of all the craft skills. So I'm going to say that this is going to be...
A dex? Like some sort of dex-based?
It's going to be dexterity,
sewing?
and does anybody proficient in any tool sets?
Thieves' tools.
No, you're not going to thief your way into this outfit. You can thief someone else's outfit, maybe.
Artisan tools? I mean, jack of all trades, so...
Does that give you proficiency in all artisan tools? Or in all tools? Jack of all trades.
No, but jack of all trades, I can add half my proficiency bonus to any
So yeah, you have
check.
artisan tools?
I do have artisan tools,
Okay, so
yes.
what we'll do is you can go ahead and do that. So you'll be primary roller, and anybody who is helping you can offer to help as well. However, because you're not trained in the things, what I'm going to ask is that who is helping to boost up Pippi?
I mean, Lucky's trying to help, but you might just have her sit on the
Yes,
side.
Fine will be standing there to take her measurements and stuff.
Sure. I mean, I'm a bard. I make costumes.
Sounds good.
It can't be that bad.
Because you're not proficient, if you are helping Pippi, I need you to make me a roll and get at least a 10 on it. This is going to be a dex check.
And they roll first, and then I roll?
They roll first to see if you get advantage.
They roll first to see if I get an advantage.
So who's helping?
Anybody helping?
Yeah,
So,
come on.
I mean,
go ahead, give me a dex check.
try and
Go
help.
on. Go on, give me a dex check.
Oh,
Dex checks.
want me to actually? Okay, sorry, I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's okay.
Normally we just assist and.
I know, but you don't have the skill.
Yeah,
So.
it's different this time.
Yeah.
And because it's sewing.
Understood. Dex check. Okay, that's a 21.
Okay, then you may roll with advantage, Pippi.
Yay! Okay. Not so good.
Uh-oh.
I got a 1.
Like a nat one?
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
god, my dress is gonna be atrocious.
On a roll with advantage?
Yeah.
You rolled 2 ones?
I rolled a 1.
Did you roll
What
2
do I have?
ones?
No.
You were rolling with advantage, Cal.
Oh.
That's the 2 dice.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
This is what happens when you don't play for 2 months.
Right. I know, yeah. Okay, right.
Brains.
Okay, let's...
So you should just roll
Okay,
one more dice and tell me what you get on it.
11 total.
11. Okay.
A 10. Oh.
All right. So
I had visions of the dress going up in flames and
Yeah,
Fiend
I was just
standing
gonna be
there
like
naked.
just like half a dress, like ripped and stuff. It's gonna be terrible.
it will be a passable job. Yes,
We'll put a bow on it.
What's your
We'll put
charisma?
a bow on it. My charisma?
No, what's
17.
Yes Fiend's charisma?
I have a 12.
A 12. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to give you a very, very boxy look. It'll work. It'll be actually fitted to her smaller frame, but it is going to be a little boxy. And honestly, you're not getting any numbers tonight. I guess house numbers because there aren't phones. So you are going to be. You're going to
You
be. A
don't
little
look
hampered,
like one of the wait staff.
but you don't look like one of the wait staff.
It's true.
So it could be worse. It could.
It
be
could.
worse.
I
We
was
can
not
put a bow
planning to
on
go.
it.
I did not know this. I was going to an opera, so a dress is better than no dress.
We
Maybe he's
have
gonna
so
find
many-
a big bow and just put a bow on.
Keep pushing the community challenge. You can do it, everybody.
It's right there.
Okay.
Put a big bow on it.
So you spend about a half hour doing that. That's fairly easy. You know what? Actually, for bringing that dress in, that would take a full hour, at least. We'll say an hour. We'll say that you work quick.
Yeah.
Kaylin, since you're the only one who's not participating in this directly, what are you doing during this time?
Probably just kind of like going through stuff, getting ready, that sort of thing, like checking to make sure that whatever dress they have decided on for me will work, etc.
All right. It actually does look really good. It fits your style precisely. It's it's a deep black number that is form-fitting, but not such that it is ooh, cool, our boost has started. Not so much so that it's like a sexualizing thing, but it is an accentuating thing to show off the natural litheness of your drow body.
Nice.
It's very good. In fact, every one of these outfits is rather tailored to accentuate the natural aestheticism of your race. For example, Lucky's is very, very form-fitting, but actually is fairly high cut, which on someone without a tail might seem a bit provocative, but mostly just gives Lucky more room to move around. There are a couple of slitted sashes that hang away from this one's belt line, kind of giving you a slight loincloth look in the front. It looks
Kinda
good.
smart.
Pippi, yours is frilly with a doublet and one of those like cinched collars.
Ah, perfect.
And poofs out at the bottom, kind of tutu-ish, in a way that only a gnome can pull off. It's a bright, kind of garish emerald number.
It's stunning.
Yes, Fiend, you're wearing something
love
as
it.
blue as your hair. It's, let me just roll to see if it's contrasting. Actually, it is fairly complementary with your skin tone and your naturally blue hair.
Cool.
You probably would have preferred a yellow, but you can take what you can get.
Yeah.
All right. A couple of hours pass as you rest up. It's been a busy day. And with only 3 hours to go, at the front door you'll hear the door.
Go
will
answer the
open.
door.
Sure. Okay.
Hello?
There's no one at the door. However, there is a letter laying partially underneath the front door. You have no idea where the guard that's supposed to be outside is. Looking around, you think you can spot the red hat standing in front of the gates, looking around. Probably was doing.
Well, I'll holler at him like, hey,
Yes, Mum. He turns around.
did you see who brought this letter? I'll wave it at him.
No, there was a woman who was having trouble with a cart. I was trying to help. Did someone? I shut the gate tight.
Yeah, okay.
Please, do me a favor. Please, miss, don't tell, don't tell the sergeant on me. I'm just doing my best.
I know, but if this blows up, I might have to say something. Just slam the door and go back in the house.
I'm gonna lose my commission. All right. Inside, you have, it's a thickly papered letter with a simple seal on it. The seal
What
is
kind of
not...
seal?
It's a black wax seal. The stamp itself is circular, with 8 spoked legs coming out of it. An obvious...
Spider mail.
It's true. It does whatever a male can.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We got a note. Who wants to read it?
Sure.
I'll read it.
Mm-hmm.
Open it. Does anything fall out? Is anything weird?
Nothing falls out.
Powder.
It's a simple letter. You have you have the poison on you.
Right.
We will be watching.
Great.
It must be done by the love scene.
Wait, which opera are we going to see tonight? Do we even know?
You are going to see the rigors of War by Susillo.
The Rigors of War has a love scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, on the battlements.
Do I know the opera?
Make me a history roll.
Yeah.
Every opera has a love scene.
And let's see. 19.
Oh yeah, you know this one. It has
this
a
one.
transcendent medley, actually, that kind of really pulls the entire thing together. So what it is the story of a soldier named Severino, and basically his trials and tribulations through a war with a neighboring country. In so, he falls in love with a young girl named Valeria, pardon me, and she unfortunately is to be wed to the general of the opposing army during a peace summit, and basically it's this whole thing about whether or not he follows his heart, thereby breaking up this potential peace between these nations, or allows the love of his life to be taken from him forever. And it's this big back and forth, and of course in the end everybody dies. But there's this beautiful love scene before the second intermission, where they sing together, and it's this duet, and then it kind of is the climax of it of will we or won't we, and it ends with them kissing, and of course then the third act is all about the aftermath of their romance and escape.
Okay.
Pippi, do you mind if
Yes.
I have a look at that letter?
Certainly.
Can Yes Fiend make like some sort of investigation just to see if there's anything like weird or odd or hidden about the letter?
You may try, yeah. Go ahead.
That's gonna be a 24.
A 24? Okay. It was deliberately made to be as innocuous as possible, minus the stamp, of course. Because you have to put some style in your evil doings. However, as you are looking at this, you are going to get the distinct smell of clove. Like clove cigarettes. As well, you can tell that it was written by a right-handed individual. Someone who leans a bit heavy on their writing. The writing looks like it was made by a woman. Large, sweeping strokes, but small hand, heavy weight. then again, it could potentially be a halfling, but halflings tend... You start dissecting a little bit of the way that halflings write compared to humans. If you had to say, you would say a human, maybe a half-elf, wrote this. Either female, feminine-sized, or otherwise, it is written with that slight flourish that you normally see. A preciseness. And yet that cloying smell of clove. They were smoking while they wrote this. If you look close enough in certain light, you can actually see the tiniest trace of ash around the base, where a little bit of that cigarette brushed down, warping the paper slightly. That's what you get for it. You might be able to recognize this individual by scent or look if you came across them later.
Yeah. She will convey all of that after taking basically taking the letter and holding it up to the firelight and just analyzing it, and then be oh yes, and of course based on the handwriting, I can tell that it is a half-elf woman based on the slant and the curvature of the light of the writing and a faint side of clove, so keep a nose out. We might be able to recognize our mysterious writer.
Clove cigarettes are sort of common-ish. Actually, are clove cigarettes common in
Why don't you
town?
go ahead and make me a roll? Give me an insight check.
Let's find out. Yeah. 18.
18. They're not terribly popular. They're quite popular on ships and on naval vessels more than anything, and dock workers. It's a lower class type of scent.
So it's something that would stand out at the opera. Probably.
It's basically the idea of it's someone who's smoking menthols type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely not someone who this is not cherry wood smoking scotch.
No.
This is definitely picked up a pack at the 7-Eleven type of attitude.
Okay.
So, is it a threat or just a...
Well, we know that they're watching us, so it's kind of a reminder that there is a threat.
So should we put on a show for them?
Oh.
Are we actually killing this?
I don't want
person or
to.
not?
No, I don't like this idea either.
I don't feel like we had much choice, though. But I'd hoped we would be able to get a hold of her to tell her of the threat. But if they're actually going to be at the opera, we're going to have no time.
And we're not going to be able to do anything slight or warn without arousing suspicion.
They were trying to steal stuff from us, weren't they?
Yes, but it's still not a good reason to kill somebody. I'd like to know why they want Celis killed. There's so much going on.
Celis killed.
Lots of politics? More politics.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't care.
Because she was the far more reasonable one.
Mm-hmm. That might be the problem. I mean...
And of course, we don't really know who's behind the issues with the paperwork and whatnot of the house.
I mean, we know that the Celis seems to want to get their nose in our business, so...
This is true. I'd just like to know more about what's going on before we make any big decisions. If we have any time for that.
I don't think we do. Plus, if you know too much, people get mad at you and try and kill you, so maybe don't.
I could, I have my connections. I could try and see if I could gain some information in my network. It's quite a closed network that I trust. And very discreet. I could try and gain some information, see if we can gather anything else about this.
Do we have time? Do you think you can get anything in time?
Possibly.
Worth a try.
Possibly.
Okay, worth a try.
All right. Do you want to go do that, Robin?
Yes.
All right. So, are you going out dressed in your evening wear? Are you hitting up your contacts on the way to the opera?
No, probably if we still have a few hours before we go, she will go out in her kind of garb that she's wearing.
Okay.
More discreetly.
Are you taking anyone with you?
No.
No?
Unless they like force themselves, she's gonna suggest doing this alone because it might spook people.
Yeah, got that impression with the when she mentioned that it was like closed circle she trusts. So it's
Okay,
like,
so she's going out into the streets by
disturb
herself
them.
where she's been assaulted at least twice.
Lucky's gonna stalk
You
her.
know,
Yeah, no, Kaylin's gonna suggest that somebody go together because
Like,
we
no, you're
just...
totally go on your own. I'm just gonna follow you. Kind of thing.
sure, why not?
Like, they just killed your mother because she was about to help us. We don't know who's watching us.
Should
And
we
that's
all
who
go?
knows what we're doing or trying to do. They just delivered a letter to our front door.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Without being
threatening us
seen
immediately
by-
after we just agreed to do what they wanted us to do.
Mm-hmm.
Upping the deadline on us. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know who they're working for in the end.
I can be very sneaky.
Yes. You might have a point. It's probably best to have a bit of backup.
Lucky's gonna slap a pawed hand on Yasmin's shoulder and just be like, see, that's what being a team's all about. Teamwork.
Yes, it's I've been alone, and as a detective inspector, I'm kind of used to not as much the team. I've been always more by myself socially, so
So sad.
it is what it is. Everyone else isn't as smart as me in the room, so I found it a little dull sometimes.
I understand that feeling.
Yes, Lucky. I'm sure you do.
Will you have time to make it back here to the house, or should we meet you at the opera?
What
you don't wanna
is
take
kind of the
long.
time?
Well, I believe, aren't they sending a carriage for us? So we should probably
Yes.
arrive back here.
Yes. Don't want to arouse any suspicion.
Well, and
Probably
also
best.
you don't want to have to try and show up at the opera on foot.
True.
It's true.
Okay.
A quick in and out. I can be back.
Okay.
If
All
Lucky want to stay behind and keep a kind of safe distance eye out for me, that'd be grand.
Yes. I will be your shadow.
Okay.
Shadow's
so is
shadow.
it just the two of you going?
What do you think, Kaylin? Should we let them go? Do we stay here in case anything else happens?
There's value in both.
Yeah.
If we all go out, it might attract attention.
That's
We
what I'm
don't,
concerned
those two
about.
might get caught with a group and never make it back. If we all leave, they might attack the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could just run headfirst into this whole opera thing and see what happens.
It's true.
Lucky.
I
made a
don't
good
know.
point.
I am a researcher. Why are you looking to me for all the answers? I don't know how to deal with this.
No, I just wondered if I just wondered how you felt about it. Do you? Okay, they'll go.
This is
come back.
awful. I
We'll
want to
keep
go
an eye
back to
out here.
studying.
Okay, we'll let them go out. We'll stay here, see what happens. Keep an eye out for things. If anybody, from the palace comes back, we can say, hey, they're just out picking up potatoes. They'll come
Or
back.
I'm out getting an adjustment for my dress since I was a new addition.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
There.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Try not to die, please.
I will do my best.
that's Lucky's job.
What?
Make sure she doesn't die.
Oh, right. Yeah, and I'll do that.
Yes.
Awesome.
Just
in case. Here, here's the poison.
Probably.
Just in case things happen.
Okay. Does Pippi have... Is there a pocket in my dress? My kingdom for a pocket.
I'm going to roll this. If I get above an 18, yes, because that's the way it works with women's outfits.
Yep.
There is no pocket. You could try to add one if you're staying at the house.
Sure. I'll sew in a secret pocket.
All right, you can sew in a secret pocket.
I'm a master of disguise.
Turtle. No. All right.
Secret pocket.
The rest of you, well, some of you at least, Lucky and Yesfine head out into the streets. The mist is clinging low to the ground as you head across the cobblestones. Now, Yesfine, moving toward your circle, there's one place that you're probably going for sure. Where is that?
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna find my notes.
You're going to the Hallowed Grounds tea room.
Yes, I knew it was a tea room. I just forgot the name, but yeah.
Keep your notes handy.
Yeah, they're right here, just sorting through them.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hallowed Grounds tea room.
Can I get your passive insights and passive perceptions, please?
Wait, all of us?
No, just these two right
Okay.
now.
Cool.
In passive insight 20.
Okay.
And passive perception 17.
Okay. Lucky.
So, insight is gonna be 11, and perception's gonna be 14.
Okay. Can I get your passive investigation as well?
8.
Okay.
19.
19. Okay. Well, we know what's happening here. As you make your way across the lower area of the city, and up into the slightly more well-to-do areas, well, at least a tiny bit, you will make your way over toward the Midlands, Hamelin, the district where people who with actual savings accounts set up shop. And soon, Lucky, as you trail behind, can you make me a stealth roll to see how casual you're being?
Absolutely. You said a stealth roll?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a 14.
All right. You're staying a decent ways back, keeping line of sight, but allowing yourself to lose Yesfine occasionally just to break contact. Before long, though, you will trail her to this old building. Well, this old storefront called the Hallowed Grounds Tea Room. Now, Hallowed Grounds is... It looks like it was built into what used to be some type of bank. The front of it has 4 large windows surrounding the front door, each taking up the entire top half of the wall in almost a bay style. 2 triangles jutting out onto the street. You can see inside that everything is brass, shined to a sheen where it's not naturally blemished from age. The wood floor is slightly pockmarked, but well waxed. And as you look inside, you can see that even though it's midday, there are about a dozen people sitting, drinking tea, having coffee in the corner, discussing things like revolutionary concepts and ideas. In the back, you see a pair of gnomes shaking their fists toward the sky, wearing little berets. This is pretty standard coffee shop stuff. As you open the front door, you will see... There we go. There are a pair of people who are working there at the moment. Behind the counter is a... is a tall human woman with long white hair that's been braided over her ears. Her ears have a number of different piercings and studs and gauges in them, and you can see tattoos licking down the side of her throat. She's in her early 30s, you'd say? Turns and looks at you with dull gray eyes. She's not unattractive, but there's nothing particularly striking about her aside from her modifications. The other person that you see working behind the counter, polishing the glassworks, is an old, curmudgeon-y looking bronze dragon. His fins are slightly wrinkled, and you can see that the bronze whiskers that jut out from the sides of his lips are slightly droopier than they should be, kind of like a sagging mustache. He's wearing a shopkeeper's apron and casual clothes, and as you enter, he turns and looks over. So, look what the cat drugged in.
Oh, you know, when it rains, it pours.
It's always raining in this damn city.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing?
Yeah, business is good. Care for a tea? Some coffee?
You know tea. Hot. Earl Grey.
Who? I can give you Prince's Premium.
I can. I'll take that.
Earl Grey. There's never been a Grey Earl. Unless maybe... There was one time that I met a Goliath whose name was Carl. That was fairly close. He was pretty grey. The dragon, who you know is Krenzon Samash, heads behind the counter and begins working. The proprietor of this establishment, he definitely understands his way around the tea, creating a bit of what would be essentially a tea latte for you. Swirled with bits of lavender oil inside of it and a little hint of vanilla. Do you want it clean or dirty?
Dirty.
He'll add a shot of whiskey into it.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. Tell me more about this Earl. Come with me. And with that, he leads you into the back room. You can hear the sound of the cafe outside of you as he takes you into this side room that's normally reserved for storage, special events. There's a single table. It looks like it's been set up for kind of like... honestly, either first dates or card table style. And as he takes you inside, he'll shut the door behind you. What brings you here? Earl Grey, really?
I need answers.
Yes, well, to answer anything, I need questions.
True. I don't know if you heard. What?
You could
Sorry?
have called first. You're the first I've seen of you.
I've been a bit preoccupied.
I know, and I'm sorry.
It is what it is. I'm trying to find answers to solve this problem. I want justice to be brought, and I was thinking...
Justice is something that I'm willing to bring to bear as well.
Good.
What can I do for you?
I've gotten myself in quite a mix.
Yes, I know. You know you're being followed by a tabaxi.
Yes, it's fine.
She's good, but she's looking in through the window right now.
She's not the problem.
You might as
Apparently.
well just bring her in.
Yeah, that's fine. Lucky, you want to come in here?
You hear Yasmin like leans out of a back room, kind of down this back corridor, just kind of like, Lucky, just come in, as you're like kind of like casually leaning on the window, like miming smoking a cigarette or something. Like, don't mind me, I'm just casual.
Act natural.
Yeah, she'll go inside.
Hi, do you
Quickly.
need any coffee or tea or anything? The woman behind the counter says.
No.
Perfect, just what we love here. Non-customers. As you pass by, some of the gnomes will like kind of look you up and down, and then continue talking. And that's why we
Lucky
need
won't
revolution
look
in
at
our
that.
times. What? What are you looking at, Narc?
Go to backseat.
I know what you are.
Me too.
Viva la
Cool.
revolution.
Cool. Bye.
Bye. They'll eye you nervously as you pass. and then continue talking about their anarchist principles, which are surprisingly still rooted in fiscal conservatism. You're basically watching the birth of like libertarians right here. Nothing will go wrong.
It's fine. It's fine.
As you head into this back room, it's about 10 by 10 with a circular table in the middle that takes up much of the breathing space. A large, grizzled, bronze dragonborn stands in front of you, wearing a shop apron, and that he is stained with tea and coffee, and he'll reach up and use it to wipe his brow, and then sit down at the table with a groan, making those old dad noises.
Have you had a day off recently?
I'm retired. Every day is a day off.
Yeah, I can tell. This is Lucky. This is... I have it Crexon, but it's Cremon?
It's Crenzon.
Crenzon, right. This is Crenzon Samash. Lucky sixpence.
I think.
You're the one who inherited the new ownership of Hexador House.
That is the one way to put it. Mm-hmm.
I knew Magnus Vex.
Me too.
My condolences. I think you probably knew him a bit better than I did.
I don't know if that's true, but thank you.
You have questions?
Yes.
Ask. We've got about 5 minutes before they think that something's up.
Right.
There's someone in there who's suspicious. There's a half-orc sitting next to the counter who's been watching me all day. Nursing the same cup of coffee for the past 4 hours. I don't trust it. No one takes that long with a crossword.
No, they shouldn't, at least. It takes me about 5 minutes maximum if I'm having a slow day.
Yes, of course. Qualify it like that, slow one.
Yes. What do we know about this black cider? Black cider? Black spider. I can't
Black Cider. I know a lot
Black cider.
What do we know about the Black Spider Syndicate? Is that what you're asking?
I'm trying to remember exactly why her mother's tied into this. My notes are just chicken scratch that I can't reread to myself. So I'm trying to remember.
You're so emotional that you're just really frazzled, is what it is.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yes, I'm trying to remember what the information that we gathered at the sketchy...
Earrings.
Yeah, the earrings, which we gave...
Assassin earrings at the place.
Right, the where is the symbol of Cryon conspiracy? Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. There we go. She'll ask about the Cryon conspiracy.
The Cryon conspiracy is a syndicate of assassins, thieves, and other ne'er-do-wells who operate underneath a giant known as Cryon.
Why would they kill my mother?
I'm not convinced that they did.
No?
The Cryon conspiracy... They're not... Their methods are different than that. As far as I understand, not to bring up a touchy subject, but she was stabbed.
Yes.
And you found the body. Or someone did? The Cryon conspiracy, you generally wouldn't. They dispose of things. Or leave doppelgangers. The entire point of the Cryon conspiracy is not to kill. It's to replace. That's why it's a conspiracy. It's hard to discover the truth. They replace people with doppelgangers. They replace people with clones. They replace people with other shapeshifters. That's why the Cryon conspiracy is in leagues with the Church of Ylos. If your mother was killed by the Cryon conspiracy, you wouldn't know. She'd be
I found
having
an
you over
earring.
for supper tonight.
Good to know. So someone's framing them.
I think probably you found an earring, eh?
Yes. Yes.
That sounds kind of suspicious. It seems like something a professional assassin wouldn't leave at a crime scene.
Unless they were in a hurry, because my mother fought back. She is quite the sorceress.
It's true. Your mother was quite a hellblazer. No pun intended with your last name. But still, there is something to be said for strategy and technique. And these killers do have it. It seems like, to me, a deliberate obfuscation. A way of hiding and provoking. Besides, the Cryon conspiracy doesn't usually operate in Port Echidna. Or anywhere on Dione, really. The Kraken League, maybe. The benevolent Order of Bakers. Sure. Black Spiders, absolutely. But I'm not convinced.
All right. Thank you for your insight. I have one more question. The Salazes. That's how they pronounce it, right? Salazes?
The what?
The twins.
The Celez?
Celez. Oh my gosh. I'm just. It's been a minute. Let's say I had a job. Potentially in a situation between the two. What are your opinions?
Between what? You have to give me more context than this.
I can't give you much more.
You'll have to give me enough context right now to make what you just said make sense. You have a contract working for the Celez family? It's good money, take it.
No, I have a contract to kill one of them. For a lot of money.
You're not a murderer.
I know.
If you need money, how much do you need?
I'm not the one that needs money. I am trying to help.
You're asking the wrong question.
Enlighten me.
What are you asking me right now? What should you do? You want me to tell you?
Yes.
You want me to tell you how to live your life? Drink your tea.
I want to.
It's getting cold. Look, I know you're shaken. You've lost someone very important. But no, that's not what you're here to ask me. What did I teach you when we started playing these games? The most important question out of all the questions is what? Go. Come on. What is it?
I know.
Why?
Yes.
Motive is everything. It's not
true.
who. It's not what. It's not when. Why did it happen? Why was your mother killed? Why were you hired?
To find out.
Aye, you are. And me telling you what to do isn't going to solve your problem. You figuring out why is. Why was she killed? Why were you hired to kill the Celez girl? You say it was Bianca? That you were there. You said Bianca's house, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Why were you there to kill? Why were you hired to kill the Celez girl? Why? When you understand why, you can answer who.
Okay.
And then it crumbles. So try again. Ask me a question with weight. Yes, Finay.
I'm trying. I'm sorry. I am trying. I am fucking just. I am blanking on what to ask. Lucky? Who wants Bianca Stella's death?
Who hired you?
The Black Spider.
Okay. The Selash family has been putting additional money into funding the Red Hats. Several of the contracts that you yourself have taken were funded by Sela's money. From where they control on Bell Tower, they have great reaches over resources. Since their parents' death, violent death, if you remember your history, the Selash family has donated a significant amount of their money to cleaning up the streets. Recently, I've heard rumors that Bianca, even more so than her brother, has been putting money into working on the creation of more effective task forces. Not only cleaning the streets, but going into the warehouses, the brothels, everything. Taking out influence. Directly countering the influence of gangs and things like the Black Spider Syndicate. That would be enough to get her killed.
Yes.
I've heard a rumor that she's received death threats specifically penned for her. From the Black Spider Syndicate's dawn. Who hired you?
Black spiders.
Yes, but which one?
Kappa.
Kappa.
Something.
Electra.
Kappa Electra.
That one.
That would be one of the Dawn's generals. Probably operating as one of his fingers. The city should have at least 5 Kappas working underneath the Dawn. That's the way the spiders work. You've attracted big attention.
Weird.
Why is it weird?
We're just a bunch of people who are trying to look after a school, that's all.
Who have unfettered access to one of the wealthiest and most powerful people inside of Port Echidna.
I mean, we do now, but... ish.
Wow.
I think she started paying attention to us first.
I think there's probably more to this story that you don't have time to tell me.
Probably. We have an opera to get to.
Be careful. The Black Spiders are bold and powerful. And if someone as high as their Dawn is getting involved, they may take brazen action against you.
Yes, this is why I wanted to come talk to you, because I just trying to solve my mother's death, and I'm now wrapped up into this because she was tied into the murder of Vex. somehow those two are connected.
Yeah, they
And
are,
if I
probably.
find the connection. I've just been thrust into this, and I'm...
Your mother was working to try to unravel whether or not Magnus Vex died. Or was killed.
Ooh.
The last I heard from her, she was concerned that there was something inside of Hexador House. Something powerful. Something that could cause ripples throughout the city. Perhaps even the continent. And that Magnus was aware of it. Just before his death. That's all I know.
You've been a great help, as always.
Thank you.
And are always
Sorry, what?
You said you're always a piece of my mind. You're always able to clear the sometimes fog that comes. I'm not as familiar, but it's been...
Well, if you wanted a fog, you probably should have ordered one.
How do you drink?
You could have an echidna fog. It's good
Probably
steamed
need to
milk.
get
It's kind of a version of what I gave you already because we have almond milk now.
Oh, do you? That's new.
Well, I mean, you know, you have to find how to milk them. He says with a bit of a grin. He'll
How
open
do
the
you
door.
milk them?
Very carefully, very carefully. Well, ladies, it has been wonderful. I'm afraid that I will keep you on file for future interviewing. We are looking for potentially another barista sometime inside of the next month. Definitely before the festival. So if your availability remains the same at the beginning of the next moon cycle, I would be happy to hire one of you, but I might have to have you fight in a death match for it.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry,
you for
she's
your
good at that.
consideration.
But
I do-
I don't think... thank you for your consideration.
Absolutely. That's why I'm here. I have a business to run.
Yes, thank you for taking your time. I will not ask to take any more time of yours, sir.
Ugh, I'm quite tired, actually. I was wondering, maybe on second thought, I could take one of you on as early as next week. Get back to me. Come by tomorrow. We'll talk some more. I didn't realize until I was opening this door exactly how knackered I am.
You should take a nap.
No time. No rest for the wicked. And like when a brass dragonborn yawns, it is just it's like a dinosaur roaring. Okay, I gotta check something real quick. One moment. Sorry, a bronze dragonborn. It was bronze, right? Not brass.
Yep, bronze.
Okay. Can he
Yeah,
put
I have
himself to sleep? That is a question. Sorry, just wanted to check one stupid thing real quick because I can. Seeing the world. No, those are gnomes. I don't care about gnomes. No, bronze. He's lightning. Damn. Oh yeah, it's only the dragons that have the sleep breath. Never mind. All right. All right. Well, you take care. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Enjoy your show.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm tired now.
Well, I'm doing it. Oh, all right. Christine's
Yeah.
fighting it.
I'm fighting it too.
All right. And
Got me.
we have coffee here.
Think I can sleep through the opera?
I feel like it's gonna be we're gonna want to stay awake for that one. Lucky.
Fine.
And with that, you head back out into the street. the sounds of the coffee shop fading into your background. The walk home is pleasant. The mist is coming down heavy, as it always does this time of day in Port Echidna. The higher areas of the city steaming and hissing as they transport people into the levels along the mountainside. You find your way back in front of Hexador House without a problem. It's beginning to grow dark. Now, meanwhile, inside, Kaelin, you and Pippi are preparing, resting in contemplation. What are you talking about? What are you doing?
I think Kaelin would take the opportunity to talk with Pippi about what should we tell the girls, because in this case especially, knowledge is power. They're less likely to be taken advantage of, tricked, or hurt if they know to avoid certain types of people, or what to look for, and to be on guard that the house could get invaded.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Just be careful.
I feel like tonight, I know they say this, but I mean, my dress has a fan that goes with it. So I'm going to attempt to see if one of us could be sat by Bianca.
Okay.
And
That's a good
casually
idea.
whisper. I'm not okay with this. We took it to give us time. There's got to be more to this than we can see.
I agree.
We know why the house is so important, but why? Is it just secondary to the black spiders? Do the black spiders know? Is it one of a rival of the Celis? Who knows? Is using black spiders? Like,
It's possible.
I hate this sort of mystery. I want an academic mystery. I don't have to worry about everybody else's like reasons. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
At least with academic backbiting, I know exactly what to expect.
That's
This is
true.
so weird and messy.
Yes, the world is a messy place.
But she seemed...
There is also the possibility that what if it's Bianca's own brother behind it?
I don't know. He seems so thoughtless.
Yes, he does seem thoughtless.
I would think it would be more likely that somebody would be removing her so that he wouldn't continue what she does because he's thoughtless or could be manipulated with men, women, booze, drugs. Right? Distracted and not paying any attention to whatever she's working with.
Yes, but that could all be a front as well. Don't pay attention to what he's doing over here. It's something I think we have to consider. Until we know more, we have to keep an open mind about things.
Too many plots and twists within twists. I don't like it.
And it's because we don't have enough information yet. There's just a little kernel of information, and it has so many possibilities as to where it can go.
No. All right. Well, we should probably tell the girls before Lucky gets back to confuse things.
Yes, that's probably a very, very good idea.
And then I'm gonna see if I can wrinkle anything out of his papers. All right. So I think Kaylin's gonna try and get the girls and Gumry together.
All right. You're able to do so actually rather easily. And as you are, where do you gather them up, into the kitchen, or?
Probably into actually one of the classrooms that's not in use.
Sure.
So just in case
that's a
somebody
good
is
idea.
put some watch somewhere on something. It's going to be a room they're not expecting us to use. Because it's not been in use.
Okay.
We've got lots of those.
Totally. So you pull them all into the room. The girls are all assembled, which, one moment. Let's give you a reminder of who your girls are. All right. So you pull forward Vistra, the Vistra Stonemantle, the blonde, greedy, spious little dwarf on the age of maturity almost. Beatrix, the 15-year-old girl with the limp, with the glasses, who's a bit of a lawyer at times. Big Bell, the Kenku. Ella Crew, the chubby Asamar, just at the cusp of 12. Benevolence, the Gorgon-haired Medusa, with gray skin, red eyes, and brown snakes writhing along her scalp. The 5 girls sit and look around. Vistra kicks her feet back and forth. So are we being evicted? Is that what this meeting's about?
No.
If we can help it.
Then why are you wasting my time?
To
We just
hopefully
want to
not
make
get
sure
you
that you're all
killed.
safe. Yes.
So let us lay out what's been going on, what we suspect, and what could potentially happen. For some reason, the Black Spiders are heavily interested in what goes on here. They've already tried to steal stuff from the place, have broken in. There's a heavy interest from the Celis family. There is a lot of intrigue and mystery going on around this house. From what I can tell so far looking through papers, there's potential that the debt has been escalated by shenanigans.
So you owe even more money now?
No, we potentially have been told we owe money that we don't owe because people have played with tax law to make it that way. They are trying to steal the house out from under us. Potentially, who knows? Vex could have even been killed. We don't know. I'm trying to warn you so that you know to be suspicious of people interested in the school, who tried to come to the school. And please just be careful. We want you to be careful, and not knowing would not help you in this situation. If somebody comes to the door, maybe don't answer it by yourself.
Well, that's not a problem. I wouldn't answer the door anyway.
And maybe
Good.
try not to go off to the far ends of the property where you won't be noticed.
Not alone.
Or at least know to
anyway.
hide if somebody breaks in, etc. But we don't know what's happening. We're trying to find what we can to piece this together and see what the heck could be going on. And if we can even get us out of this. Because this level of tax and loan finagling says somebody powerful.
Are we in trouble? Benevolence says.
Not from us.
No, you're not in trouble.
We're going to do our best to continue supporting you and make sure you can learn and have somewhere to sleep and eat.
I hope that it's okay.
I hope so too.
We all do.
I'm hoping it turns out to be, we get the one piece of information we need for everything to fall together, where we can out the person and have them properly convicted by law. But this isn't a fairy story. It's Port Echidna. There's a good chance that it's not a happy ending. But we will take what jobs we can to rent space to at least make sure you have food and a house still.
That's good.
As we took responsibility. So we're not going to just toss you in the street and, well, too bad.
No.
But we'll do our best to continue getting tinctures and to keep the house.
They'll all kind of nod, understanding as best as they can.
Yeah.
But there's a sense of menace and worry about them, which is pretty understandable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them to feel that way, but at the same time, I'd rather they be wary of all strangers than
This is true.
get taken hostage by the black spider or trust somebody and give them the wrong information or something.
So what do you want us to do?
Just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of who's here. Yes.
But if you notice somebody who appears to be watching the house, let us know. If somebody starts asking you weird questions, etc., just pay attention to try what they're asking. Maybe try and give as many non-answers as you can until we can figure out why. But mainly try to stay aware so that we don't want you hurt. We don't want to scare you, but you do need to be aware.
Okay.
But we will do our best.
Okay.
Yeah.
They all nod and agree.
For the time, at least, we do have some red caps protecting the perimeter, the gate. So if something happens, scream.
Don't worry, miss. I'll be sure to do everything that I can to protect the girls. I may not be much anymore, but there's still fire in my belly, and I would rather go down with a fight than eke out my years in peace and shame.
You know you would.
Fair. However, don't forget to call for help.
Well, I'm not an idiot.
Good. No, I'm sorry, but I have met many people who are. And I can never tell when I meet new people.
I'm a new person.
It's easier to...
I'm not a new person to you, lady. I knew you when I was a young man.
Yes, but I don't know how you've changed over the years. You were very young when I met you first.
Yes, and I was part of a military contingent where we relied upon each other.
This is true. I've also met many stupid soldiers.
Yeah, as have I. Do not fear.
It's better said than not said.
I will happily
No
call
insult.
for backup, should it be necessary.
Excellent.
Also, we would not necessarily want to do without you just yet.
Exactly.
Thank you. Nor would I. Is there anything that I can help you with, ma'am?
I'm trying to unravel his paperwork, so if you
I can help you with some of that.
if you know anything about it, or if you notice that something's missing, or let me know. I have no way of knowing, of course, if somebody's already broken in and taken something before we even got here. His death feels suspicious.
Yes, it does.
But at that point, she'll kind of like move it along, break it up, and let the girls know, like, feel free to go back to whatever you were doing.
Yeah.
Why would you say,
Besides the timing, ma'am, he says. As you let the girls go, he'll pull you aside. And,
you said that you found his death suspicious. Was that just the timing? Or was it something else?
I mean,
He appeared to die of natural causes.
There's things that can make that happen. There's ways to hide a death.
I found him. He was at his desk, enjoying a cup of tea that had gone cold. He had slumped over his paperwork. His heart stopped. I remembered there was a... He had knocked his cup over. The coroner believed it a heart attack. But I remember there was a smell.
What kind of smell?
I thought it was... There were so many smells in his study from all of his alchemy, but this, it... Like... A bitter almond.
Bitter almond?
Both of you do me a favor. Can you both make me a medicine roll?
21.
21.
Ugh. 14.
14. Pippi, this is
Yeah.
going to strike a bit of an alarm with you. Kaylin, you have the same poison on you right now. The poison that smells slightly of bitter almond, but leaves no trace beyond that. The one
He
that's...
was poisoned.
This is the same poison you were just given to deliver to Bianca Sellas.
Basically cyanide.
Basically, yeah. I think I actually used a different thing than almond, but I couldn't remember what. I didn't write it down. So, if anybody remembers what the smell was from last game, because 2 months ago.
I don't remember. I didn't write that part down.
I don't think I wrote that down either. Nope.
I just
have-
wrote poison.
Poison.
Plus poison.
Yes.
Traceless. That's what I
Generic poison.
Yeah.
Generic fantasy poison number 17735.
Yep.
But yes, the same poison that you were given, that you were able to identify last episode. I do remember that you knew what this poison was, and so did Yasvine at the very least. Would actually cause the exact same effects as what killed Magnus Vex.
So,
It could have been a heart attack. I'm not going to say it wasn't, but...
well, no, but she's going to think poison because of everything else that's going on.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And what she just found.
I'm just saying that as the DM, I'm not giving it away. Shoot. But I think that moment is probably a light bulb for you.
So what it seems like, so he was killed. He was obviously working with, God, what was Yasvini's mom's name?
Hagatha Blaze.
Blaze.
Agatha.
It was Hagatha all
Agatha
along.
Blaze.
He was obviously working with Blaze, trying to work something out because she wanted to talk to us. And then she dies immediately before we can get there. And from what I think I've kind of worked out from his paperwork that it did seem like that the fees to the school, like the debt was exorbitantly not right.
It definitely seemed like there was some manipulation there, yes.
So I wonder if he'd worked out whatever was going on with the debt.
Possibly.
I was going to expose it.
Yes.
So they remove him, and get whoever I don't know if they knew who he had designated, but presumably unknowing recipients who could be manipulated.
Manipulated or just plain overwhelmed into deciding it's too much, we can't take it on, and sell it and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Sell it to the first offer.
I think we will have to talk with...
The fuck?
Oh.
Ken-
Fuck off, Google Home.
Big Bell starts saying something as she's walking up the stairs. You might want to check the Google app. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended insurance coverage.
Thanks for disconnecting Wi-Fi. That's great. Okay, just go away.
Big Bell heads upstairs, and you hear
Yeah,
the
it's Big Bell.
Kenku
Yeah.
voice be like, "You're gonna love my nuts with the slap chop." There we go. Continue.
I think at this point, I almost wanted to say Claudette there for a moment.
I feel like
Too many
Claudette would be
C
doing
names.
more stuff than Claudette would just be rushing headlong into the mystery. Whereas
Well, Claudette would have just gone straight to Bianca and been like, "You wouldn't believe these commoners."
Yeah.
well, because they would have gone to the
Asked
same
me to do.
sorority.
Exactly, they were probably best buds.
she would have. Yeah, she would have taken the lucky route to everything.
All right.
Kaylin is going to look at Pippi and say, I think Gomri needs to know about tonight.
Yes, I agree.
And she's going to explain the whole request for poisoning, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Make me a
And kind of-
persuasion roll to make this sound better than it is.
Well, basically, she's going to say, like, look, we took it at the time to avoid them doing anything to us. I don't want to do this. I'm going to tell her tonight.
We're
And
gonna
try-
figure
but I'm
something
worried about the
out.
girls, if they're watching us, like,
Mm-hmm.
if they see me talking to her, are they going to send somebody after to threaten the girls or hurt them in recompense for me not doing what they wanted? Sort of thing. 18.
So you're not going to do it?
Not if we can help it. I mean, no,
No,
we're
of
not going
course
to do
not.
it. No,
She's
that's
good
not
for
who
the
we are.
city. She's lowered crime hugely. Which is probably why they want her dead.
Mm-hmm.
She's much more practical than that brother of hers.
Yeah. If you're doing what's right, the gods will shine on us. Have no fear. I have a trick up my sleeve. Since I know that things are getting serious.
He'll lean forward and show you, and like pick his cane up, old battered cane, and he'll smile and just kind of like stroke his fingers down the little symbol of Arcaris on the side of it.
Gomri.
What? Of course I have a blade hidden.
Of course he does.
I wasn't about to use it on those ruffians that roughed me up the other day. They were just trying to rob me. I'm not a murderer. But if someone comes for the girls, I'll gut them. And think nothing
Good
of
man.
it. If you think that's the only body that's buried in the rose bushes.
So that's why they bloom so well.
Lovely, lovely red
Good
blossoms.
fertilizer.
And as he says that, the front door will open again. And Yasvine and Lucky have returned home.
Oh, we'll go out and meet them.
Welcome home, ladies. I do believe it's probably time to start getting ready, applying your makeup and feminine wiles.
I thought I was just putting on a dress.
Yes, basically.
Good enough. Lucky. Yeah.
Okay.
Best of luck. It appears that you have an assassination to foil.
Well.
Let's take a 5-minute conversation before getting ready.
Yes.
I'll leave you be.
And he'll
Thank you.
putter out.
So Kaylin is just going to blah, here's what we've done, here's what we're
All
thinking.
right, it's time to communicate. Let's see how this goes.
So we're not killing them. The cell is.
No.
No.
Oh.
But what if they're right there and we don't, and they kill us all?
Well, we fight them.
Well, we will certainly fight back. And hopefully whoever the cellist has guarding them will also help.
Aid us, yes. Hopefully, if they.
But I'm hoping to... Let's try and finagle so I can sit next to her.
So I'm pretty.
So you can lean
pretty
in, like,
sneaky.
commenting on the show.
So we don't get the 20K removed from our debt.
We
no,
might
but
get
potentially the
more.
cellist will fix it for us.
Yes.
But I thought we didn't want the sellers backing us because they would have control over the secrets in the basement.
Not yet, anyways.
Well,
They
don't
won't
know
have
that
it yet.
Okay. You're the ones with the brains.
Well, sort
Like,
of.
we don't necessarily want them to know that,
the
but
best.
at the same time, I'm not okay with killing somebody for a criminal organization.
No.
Why not?
Because it's
Because
criminal.
they're bad people, Lucky.
Yeah,
You don't want to go
are-
down that road.
Why not? If it keeps the school safe and keeps the girls safe and keeps us safe, why not?
Because it will only escalate and we will never be free of them.
Yes, we do this one
They
thing.
will never hold their promises, Lucky, because they are bad people.
But there's a lot of bad people that do hold their promises, and like that's part of how they be bad.
Yes, but the Black
That's
Spiders
true.
would then have blackmail on us of, oh, they did this.
Don't they probably already have something on us? They don't have to have the truth. They can make it up. I've heard it all. Like, people make stuff
Yes.
up all the time.
But if we tell the Celluses, they hired us for this, here, we don't want to do this.
Oh, hey,
They're gonna
Celestis,
believe
we
us.
accepted a job to murder you. Surprise! We changed our minds.
Or we go and
Well,
say,
we're not-
hey,
We're not quite going to
we
word
were
it that
asked
way.
to do this. We're trying to avoid this and tell you about the attempt on your life.
Right. And they'll be so grateful that they'll forgive all our debt somehow.
Maybe.
Or at the very
Rich
least, be
people
giving us
don't have
jobs.
gratitude.
We got to try. We have to try it.
Okay, sure.
I know.
But I mean, if I have to go live in a ditch again, I'll go live in a ditch again.
We're not going to let you live in a ditch.
It makes more sense than all this chaos.
I can understand that. Yes. You're not going to live in a ditch if we can help it.
What if I want to?
Well, that's different. If you want to live in a ditch,
All right, so let's go watch an opera.
good show. Yes.
So can I just sleep through the opera then if we're not actually killing anyone?
It's a well,
Well, I mean, pay attention enough that
The
you don't
first-
get, like, killed.
yeah.
They will act when we don't kill her by the love scene.
Yes.
Prepare for a confrontation. That was promised
Potentially.
in that note. No, it was promised in that note. I feel like they're going to keep
Yeah.
good on their promises.
It's probably not going to be a big confrontation, though. It's public.
But
They're more
Depends if
likely
they
to
decide
like,
to
do something
take it
very
into
casual and unseen. Right?
I mean, I'm not like a crime syndicate. I don't know how this stuff works.
That's true. Well, we'll just have to be ready for anything, really. We don't
I will
know
be
how,
ready to
how they wanna
slash
work.
and smash then, just in case.
Excellent. Well,
Good talk.
I guess
Good talk.
I guess we should get ready for this fancy event.
I'm gonna try on fancy dresses.
Yes. Let's see how that turns out.
And with that, you begin preparing for your night, which will be a most eventful one by anyone's metrics. As you gather your things up, prepare yourself. The future is coming, and your destiny is coming with it, which we'll find out after this break. Folks, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. I'm surprised you guys aren't going to go and murder people. I'm proud of you, but also...
We agreed to that, but okay.
well, none of us wanted to do it.
No, we don't
doesn't
really
care.
want to. I mean, we figured we'd talk Lucky around into our way of thinking.
I was going along with the group. I'm still trying to figure out the exact dynamics of how you were dealt with this in debt with these people. So I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
like,
know.
we have no idea either. so.
I'm like,
I
great,
just
now
wanna
Felmerl's
solve a
gonna go
murder.
and wreck us or something.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I don't want to kill people. I want to solve a murder.
I'll have you know
we
that
want
one
to
of
figure it out too.
my notes from last game include the line morals. What are those? Can I eat them?
Yes, I remember that part.
So, right.
All right, so, hey, we'll be right back. We're just going to take a quick break, and I'm going to get some coffee. So, see you in a second.
Same.
Good idea.
Hello, we're back with Chat Talk.
Hola.
Robin will be back in a minute. She's taking care of something.
Yep.
Maybe it's another sexy canvasser. It might be. You never know. You never know. So, hey everybody, this is the part where we talk to the
weird,
chat.
Honestly.
What?
Who goes door? No, who's going door to door during a pandemic?
Lots of people. We've been hit up.
I hate it. It's weird.
What?
I don't like it.
At least
that?
most of them are wearing masks still, but like.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird.
So anyway, hi, how's it going, chat? I hope you're enjoying this
Hey,
mystery.
guys.
I also appreciate people not spamming their predictions in the chat, which is always great. I love that with mystery plots.
Well, as we've already said, it was Pippi.
It was Pippi. I think it was
Pippi.
it was Hagatha all along. That's what we decided.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, ba-doot.
It was
Pippi's
Lucky.
evil cousin.
What? Ippy? Or Ip?
Yeah.
Being ippy.
Ipip?
Well, no. Ippy is the name of the
Ip.
of the otter family that runs the BC ferries in my world.
What's your world?
Your world's weird, Cal. I just gotta put that
I know
out there.
it is.
We're having a good time,
I'm
Tusker.
confused.
It was the potato mimic. Twee and Void, good to see you. Good
Yes.
to see you, Ravnos.
All I know is it wasn't Lucky because Lucky's not smart enough.
No, it was Lucky's
It's
evil
totally a
twin.
potato bag.
All right.
Yes,
So, folks-
Twee and Void drew a lovely little doodle of
Oh, is
Pippi
that-
in her green tutu.
I love that. Can you
with
want me
the
to show
giant
that?
potato. Yeah. Hey, Lee, is it okay if we show it?
Thank you. I'm glad you're liking it, Trizelta. Ooh, you picked up a couple D&D books. What'd you pick up? I'm curious.
Yeah, they were talking last night that it was that they got some books.
So there we go.
Lisa's good show.
It's
show
already
Pippi
there.
Pippi and the potato.
So Pippi's skirt is green, but I've got green screen on. So basically, Pippi's got no pants.
Pippi has no pants.
The Pippi
Pippi's
has
doing,
no
you know.
pants. So
It's the no pants dance with Pippi.
I mean, Pippi would make more tips if she did more no pants dancing.
She might. Yeah. I mean, people wouldn't care if she's singing, Gilligan's Island.
Oh, I was gonna say this is a sex positive world, and how she makes her money is her own damn business.
Sex work is real work, damn it.
It is, and especially in this world, because my God.
Yes.
Also, there's more gender equality, I think, in Ylos, because when a woman can throw a fireball, the whole gender dynamic kind of evens out a little. You
Pippi's
know?
on a Zoom meeting. Pants are optional. Pants are always optional on Zoom meetings.
Are you guys thinking that I'm wearing pants right now? Because seriously, even when I'm dolled up for Reign
No.
of Emery's, I'm at the very least wearing board shorts.
Yeah. No, I've got
See, I
yoga
would
pants
never
on.
not do like pant-like things on.
You would
so,
wear
like,
leggings.
Shorts, leggings.
But
Okay,
you live
shorts,
in a-
leggings, they all count. They're all
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah. It's all
I'm not going to sit
pants
there
of
with just
some
underwear
type.
on.
No.
Because what if you stand up by forgetting about it while you're still on or something?
There's enough.
Like,
enough.
oh,
clips
no.
of that
Oh no,
from
it's
the
a
beginning of the
cyberpunk glitch.
pandemic.
Dong's out for Harambe. Oh no,
Like-
cyberpunk glitch. Time to to T-pose.
Like,
I almost said
you
Steve.
always wear
T-pose.
something.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like dress pants,
could be
but
a
it has to be
smile.
like leggings or shorts or something.
So,
Skirt, for all I care.
So for those of you who are tuning in real quick, if this is your first time tuning into Hexador House, I do want to say, and especially because this is the first time that our mid-chat is going to be left in a YouTube video.
pants are-
So if you're looking at this and you're like, Kelly, this mystery plot is kind of not as cohesive as I expected. In many ways. So, I actually think
It's
this
a
game is...
mystery. What do you want?
but you've played a lot of mystery games under me, and they're normally more cohesive. So the thing that everybody who's watching this needs to know, this game is actually a masterclass in how to retcon games into working without violating established plot device. Like basically, what has happened in this game is that we've had we started running last March or last February, somewhere there, right before the pandemic. And it was supposed to be like a 6 to 10 episode game, bi-weekly. And what happened is, through a series of we had a bunch of player illness, we had a bunch of personal things that came up, and we kept having to like postpone games and move stuff around. And then we actually ended up basically losing one of our players. Hey, how's it going? Muslemator. It's good to see you there. So pretty good. The rolls go well. We're just on our quick mid-break while one of our cast members finishes up, I think in the washroom or something. And then we're going to hop back into play. But with this game, so what has happened is like one of our cast members ended up having some life circumstances where she probably can't come back. She might. So we had to like basically write out like a quarter of the plot. Well, I say me. And that's how we got Robin, which is a great trade, which I love. But it does mean that like a lot of this plot has had to be retrofitted. So if at any time this mystery seems like, that's kind of a weird choice, Kelly, sometimes it's from desperation, where I'm just like, I'm gonna finish this damn game. I had someone ask me during one of our panels at DorkX what my game completion rate is. And it's actually pretty damn high.
It's really high.
It's really, once you get past the 3rd episode, I don't think the first 3 episodes count.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how long it takes anyway to sort of settle into your characters and figure out what your group is.
Like, there are a lot of games that I've ran where it's like the first episode or two, like you run a game or so, and you're just like, I am not feeling this game. I'm not feeling the people. And then it just kind of falls apart. But I generally find that if I make it through a first plot arc, I will finish it even if it takes me a year or two. Because I'm stubborn and I refuse to let my rate in. I finished like something like 20 or 30 games, as it turns out. I think Rise of the Rune
Robin's
Lords.
back.
Yeah, Robin's back. She teleported.
Shit. I didn't even notice.
Did you take care of the
I'm
sexy man at your door?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right.
Pizza delivery.
Pizza delivery with extra sausage.
Extra sausage.
Oh, I beat you to it. My sausage is fast. Then.
You don't want to really brag about that, Kelly.
No, it's true, because then you're just like, first! I win!
Wait, is it a race?
It's not a race. It's not a race.
It is.
You notice Christine's very quiet.
She knows I'm showing you.
Yeah.
So
I figured.
I'm also going to advertise that to the public, though. So thanks, guys.
That's fair. I did that. What was it? It was. I've got some dirty jokes I could tell. I'm not gonna, but I could. There's some of them pretty good. So we're gonna be hopping back in the game in like what, 3 minutes? How's everybody doing? Does anybody have any questions? So like I said, a lot of this plot has been retrofitted and made to finish around. Had 2 players drop out due to the circumstance. See, that sucks. That really sucks. Ricky Bobby Tommy, you ain't first, you're the last. Yeah, it's just true. So if there are ever, and I want you. Actually, you know what? So. Hey, you 4, I want you to remember something. D&D 5th Ed has a mechanic in it that you may not be accustomed to, because a lot of role-playing games, particularly role-playing games prior to D&D 5th Ed, most didn't have this type of system. It's called an insight roll. If you ever are in a place where you are like frozen in the headlights, look at the mystery plot, and you're like, what the hell do I ask? What do I do? You can say, hey Kelly, can I make an insight check for a hint?
Yeah.
Or advice? And I am happy to do that. Unless you're like right on top of the clue, you're just kind of circling the drain, and I'm like, no, you got this. You don't need to make a roll. Like, I will be happy
Don't do that to me.
Don't do that, please. Oh God.
Like, you know I can't put that shit together.
That's true.
It's the funniest thing. I'm in a mystery game. I cannot put clues together. Like, I am the easiest person to plan a surprise party for. I will never see it coming.
Especially not
I'm
during
like
COVID.
half and half. I'm half and half,
so-
man.
I pick up
Come on,
weird
or
things
not.
or make guesses that are probably either totally on point or completely off, and I never know, so I'm always scared to make predictions. Because I'm like, I'm gonna either come across like this is absolutely wild, or I'm gonna be totally just like on point.
No,
It's gonna be scary.
guaranteed I will be blindsided by whatever the twist is.
So, speaking of mysteries, if you guys are enjoying this, don't forget that on Tuesday this week, you can tune in to our first episode of Candlekeep Mysteries.
Woohoo.
If you need
And
to
who's helming that show?
everybody.
Yeah.
Mostly me.
I mean, I don't really agree with that last chat item. See, the thing is that the GM could have done it totally well.
Yeah.
I would not have put it together, though. That is a fault in me. I am not good with... I can't see the twist in movies most of the time unless it's becoming really obvious. Like, Kelly's teaching me to see that, so I'm getting better.
I'm trying.
I I don't read mystery books because they bother the heck out of me because they never make any sense until the very end.
Now, I get I do, as far as Boomex, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but it's nice. I think that find a cleric and ask your god for guidance is great. But I think that, because Christine would actually roll and summon them, which she actually did once. I think that if you need to use insight to progress your game, it really depends on the game. If you're running a mystery, sometimes you just can get really fixated, or anything, for example, with like a riddle or any type of deductive logic can sometimes... It's really easy to snag on a nail inside of your mind, you know? Like, have you ever done that, like snagged a coat sleeve on a nail and then you're stuck? It's kind of like that with an errant thought. It's like when you've ever been playing charades and you're like, is it a duck? A duck? Is it a duck? Is it a duck? No, it's not a duck. It's fucking Richard Nixon. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah, right?
Well, we see it all the time in actual mystery investigations and actual police investigations. The evidence is interpreted one way and it goes in one direction, and once you're down that path, you don't want to give it up, but sometimes a fresh set of eyes coming in and looking at it says, well, have you thought, did somebody miss something else in the past?
Played Boggle?
Now,
word games, and you pick one sound of word, you can never see anything else in it.
It's true.
You can only find words with that sort of sound frame.
What I will say about that, though, is that it's the GM's job to keep the ball rolling, and I 100% agree with that. However, using an insight check, but this is a game with an investigation component, right? And using the insight check, what you do is you allow the players to make insight checks as a way of giving them a sense of dominion over that moment of insight. Because if I, for example, would just provide a couple of additional clues or continue to just kind of make the challenge easier and easier and easier for them, the players wouldn't feel as accomplished for figuring it out. Whereas even if it's just like, can I make an insight check? All right, I got a 19. I'm like, actually, you notice, and then if I provide a clue, the player feels like they earned that through that roll. It's not something you should do all the time, obviously, because you should be role playing, not role playing. Yeah. But
it's up to you how much information you do give us. If we really need a bone thrown at us, or do you just need something to twig you thinking in a different direction?
Or quite often, like, I like to use it where I'll go and say, okay, here's the things I am seeing. What would Claudette think about these, sort of, or what would Kaylin think about this? What's she going to pick up on here? Because Christine, I'm not picking up on it.
Yeah, and honestly, it really does depend, right? Like, if the game is set to be like a procedural mystery, then using insight rolls to help connect the dots in the mental board, especially if it's a complex mystery, I think is fine. If it's a normal D&D game, a lot of the objectives should be really laid out, right? It's like, okay, we're gonna go confront the Count, who is obviously evil, so we need to go do that, and then it's a little more easy to do. But a roll,
I think that's supposed to be doesn't equal agency.
Oh, okay. No, but it implies a sense of agency, right? It's a psychological component.
Because I'm rolling.
Also, there's just days where we're dumb, like where you have a day where you're just not. Today I'm just not here.
Do we
mentally,
get, like, the GM to tell us what's happening?
Yeah. And
what would my character know? Because I'm not putting the dots together right now. Like tonight, I got to admit, I'm not.
You're having a slow night. I was having a slow night last night.
I'm also having a slow night, but I'm playing a very unintelligent character.
My character and your character matters as well, because because I'm a criminologist for real doesn't mean that Pippi is. Pippi doesn't know everything that Kel knows. So
and just
I have to balance that out.
Just because Amy's a linguist doesn't mean that Lucky knows how to speak.
Exactly.
And just
we have so many options going on, and we've floated so many theories and options and ideas and conspiracy ideas and all this sort of stuff that, like, I am racked with indecision at this point.
Yes.
Of like, these seem all legitimate. I don't know.
And because, like I said, the plot has had to adjust because we've lost some people and all of that. So,
well,
like, it is. Sorry, go ahead, Amy.
Oh, I just want to say that there's also something fundamentally different about trying to puzzle out a mystery when you're you're getting the sources all from one source. You're not able to look at different actual physical pieces, which may let your brain puzzle it out in a different way. Like we might be coming to conclusions and positing theories that may or may not be as likely to us because we haven't actually seen the physical evidence. We're all imagining it.
Yes.
And it's all coming through my voice, regardless of how many silly accents I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is an inherent bias.
Yeah. So, and it's a problem that, I was just gonna say, like, it's a problem I run into when I'm coming up with things to do in combat too. Like, I don't know what the physical room layout is. Like, I can't look around and go, oh, there's a wall right there, I'm gonna do a thing on it. Or, oh, there's a rock on the ground, I'm gonna pick it up and throw it. It's like, I have to imagine what might be there and see. Or there's a rug,
and there's this streaming thing too where it's live, so there's like slightly more time pressure.
So
it's like anxiety. It's constant. There's more anxiety that you have to be more on your feet. So
this is one of those things about having people correct me on rules on YouTube. It's like, dude, I had like 4 seconds to make a rules call. I don't have time to look stuff up.
It's just like
but anyway,
it gives me 10 minutes while I go grab the book from down in the dungeon.
This is like
we're role playing for fun.
This is part game, we are also part essentially rules, doing and part acting,
improv
entertainment.
So
it's theater. Yeah.
I mean, if that, as I was about to say to Amy just a second ago, if Amy wanted to say there was a rock on the ground, unless I had a damn good reason for there not to be a rock there, there's a rock there.
Yeah,
right?
But there's a difference between imagining, oh, I'm in a room, there's probably a rock, and just looking at the ground and seeing a rock and going, I pick it up and throw it. There's a extra step to it that just is different in the processing level. Like, it makes sense that, and Kelly has been really good about that with being like, oh, is there a rock? Cool, there is, I'm going to use it. But I have to think about it, I don't just see it.
Yeah.
So it's just
Well, and I also think that a lot of role-playing games tend to disempower players and make them such that you don't feel like you have that type of control over the narration. Because, like, I mean, we've all played in games where you'll be like, you describe an action and the DM completely takes your action in a different direction than you ever intended.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, we're not necessarily talking about the insight roll as for, say, we're missing a really obvious thing right in front of us, like a physical thing, and we're missing it, and we're going to do an insight roll just to get to Kelly to tell us what we're missing. Yeah. It's more that we're just not quite making maybe that mental leap between connecting this piece of information and this piece.
Connect.
So it's more that we're going to get hints saying, basically we're saying we're stuck.
Yeah.
And that's when then Kelly can start giving us the hints, because if we're role-playing it, we're not necessarily telegraphing that we're stuck yet. Because it's not the character who's role-playing being stuck, it's the player controlling it.
Yeah,
so.
and there is a difference there. But anyway, so it's a long... We could go on for hours about like, deductive reasoning and ways to do games. Thankfully, when you come and watch us play Candlekeep Mysteries, there aren't really any mysteries in that book.
What?
Yes, to avoid stalling. I don't understand that one, but hey. So anyway, so come watch Candlekeep Mysteries. It's gonna be a hell of a lot of fun. We're gonna run a lot of good games. These mysteries are not really mysteries. They're like little modules. They're kind of cute. I don't know what the mystery is actually supposed to be in half of. I'm not allowed to read half of them because I'm not allowed to read like 90% of them. But yeah. So Amy, don't forget to be at the meeting tomorrow.
Right. There's a meeting tomorrow. What
There's
time?
a meeting tomorrow at noon. Don't miss it. Because we gotta talk about how we're gonna run this. So folks, we're gonna hop back into game in just a second. What I would like to say is thank you very much for tuning in to Secret of Hexador House. I hope you're enjoying it. It's a ride, and we're gonna finish this damn thing in like either 3 or 2 episodes. It's gonna be another couple of episodes. But with that, I think we should hop back into game. Is there any last thing that y'all want to talk about? Twee. So Twee and Void. Wait. So Kel, your friend's Twee and Void, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So she's into D&D a lot too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So don't spoil me because I haven't done it yet.
No.
You should Twee. You should definitely come in and watch it with us, or watch us play it because it's going to be pretty funny. I cannot wait to play my Goliath. It's going to be good. All right. So folks, we're going to hop back into Dungeons and Dragons right now. If you are watching live, that means that we're going to get a little less responsive. We might still chat with you in the chat text-wise. You teach D&D and do kids parties.
Yeah, she does it with kids. It's hilarious. It's awesome.
Nice.
She's a good human. She's a good human.
No human is a good human. Maybe she's a good elf. All right. No elf is a good elf. This is Ylos. All elves are jerks on Ylos. All right.
Hide my ears.
You're only a half elf. You're fine. That means you're half good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm half good. Cool.
Half good. Yeah. Even a splash of, I'm not ready. That opens the door to many things. So, okay. I'm not sleeping tonight either, which is great. I couldn't sleep until like 5 a.m. last night, and then I had to go to the dentist. So, hey. Also, invisible cup. Also, Robin, I opened this one today. Guess where the level is?
Halfway?
It was exactly half. I was like, this thing is so empty.
Is it still fizzy? That's my question.
It's a little fizzy.
But you were so optimistic about it.
I was like, it's half full. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm an optimist.
Yeah. There you go.
I've always wondered, but my reaction is it's half full. It's only half full.
Oh yeah, Cal, remind me. I need to, once we do my cider thing, I'm going to bring some low fills for you too, but it'll be alcoholic low fills.
I dare you to name, you need to name one of them Black Cider now.
Yeah, you do.
Black cider?
Black Cider Syndicate.
Actually, we're going to be bottling a blackberry cider. So,
oh, nice.
Or canning a cider. I'm used to saying bottling because of wine, but it's canning most of them.
You should name it the Black Cider Syndicate.
I don't have that much power yet, Kelly.
Just use all of your power.
All of mine.
I don't know who this voice is, but I need him as a character now.
Use all of your power. Could this be my Goliath?
No, it's not my Goliath.
All
right, could be something though. I kind of want this guy. He's just Vinnie Jones. All right. So,
I was gonna say it's Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
I'm Boris the Bullet Dodger.
How'd you get that name?
Yeah.
I dodged a bullet.
All right. God, that movie's fun. All right, so, folks, we're going to hop back into Hexador House right now. We've got about another hour of game, so I hope you stick around and enjoy this, because due to technical difficulties, we're running a little short tonight, which is fine, because I gotta sleep someday. All right, heading back in. Hello, and welcome back to the Secret of Hexador House, here on Dork Tales. Now, where we left things a few minutes ago, you all were preparing to head to the opera. And sure enough and soon enough, your coach arrives outside. It's a long, luxurious, dark wood coach with 36-inch wheels. That is diameter, not radius. Actually, no, they'd be 48-inch. They'd be 48-inch. With a pair of stallions pulling it. The coachman approaches the house and rings the bell under the supervision of Sergeant Hask. Yes, Kaylin.
I would just like to note that I'm thinking she'd talk to the others really quick and be like, you know what? Why don't we just leave the poison here?
I was just going to say that.
Because then it doesn't even look like we're going to
that's a great idea.
Sort of thing. So we can say we received it, we left it in the house, out like safely hidden away. It's not here. We're not attempting this on you in any way, shape, or form. We deliberately left it behind.
Let's give it to Gomri. He seems responsible.
Just give Gomri the poison. The poison for Gomri. Gomri's poison.
Yeah. Gomri's poison.
Yes, that poison.
God damn it, Christine. Okay. I have so many cups here. All right. So as you make that decision, you give the poison to Gomri to dispose. And as you do, you'll hear Sergeant Hask's voice comes through the door at that point.
There's someone here for you. Your coach has arrived, my ladies.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. As Kaylin opens the door.
Okay.
Cool.
Good evening, ma'am, says a driver with a top hat as he bows and tips his hat to you at chest level. My name is Reggie, and I am here to bring you to the opera tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Reggie.
Lovely.
Which, can I flex my charisma at him, please?
Please.
So I would say, what? Performance?
Persuasion.
Persuasion?
Persuasion does everything. Let's do it.
24.
24. Now Reggie himself is a just on the soft side of normal. His face is a bit too round, and he has a cleft chin. Above it, there is a thin mustache that runs the length of his upper lip that has just kind of struggled into existence. And as you flex that on him, he will... yes, ma'am. I'm happy to help you. Please, if you would, please.
Thank you. Sparkle, sparkle, drow.
Sparkle, sparkle, drow.
In fact, dancing lights.
Do you want to? Okay, yeah, you totally can. All
it's
right.
a cantrip. There's just like little sparkling lights float down her dress with her as she passes.
Question.
Okay.
I know it's like a fantasy D&D world, but weapons for the opera, would they be allowed? Question mark.
You were going there specifically for defense, weren't you? She wanted you there just in case something was happening.
Okay, yeah,
she'd
okay,
received a
yes.
threat.
Right,
Yeah.
yes.
So I guess the question is, how are you bringing weapons with you?
Well, I have a couple daggers that I could do like the thigh holster.
Yeah, you do the thigh.
for a
Do you have
couple
short
to-
swords?
I have
daggers.
a rapier.
So you could probably do the one rapier Wonder Woman style.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Totally.
Have
no, I
Eldritch
think-
Knight weapon bond, so my weapons are all wherever I need them to be, plus claws.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
I have... I'm sure I could have found a piece of fabric or something to make my component pouch look very fancy and pretty.
So I think you guys can bring anything with you that you can hide on your person reasonably, which means Pipsy probably... Pipsy can't. Pippi probably
Pipsy
can't
can't.
either bring a crossbow. Because that's just
No, Pippi's not bringing the crossbow. It's a little bit,
it's a little
obvious.
Or
Yeah, she can't fit that in the
innocuous, and
secret
it's
pocket.
oculus.
Sorry, my cat has decided this is the time to start running around like
It's,
an
it's
elephant.
cat zoomy hour.
It's zoomy time, yeah.
Well, I mean, we're zoomy right now, so.
We are zooming.
true.
Yeah, she's zooming too.
She's jealous.
She's very jealous.
Amy, oh my god.
Sparkle,
She added
drow.
a Kaylin command.
Fuck yeah, sparkle.
Yeah.
Just steal that from Channel Awesome. Fuck yeah, sparkle. Okay.
Yeah, so I think I would have my pair of daggers probably strapped to my calves under the dress because it's long enough that would be hidden.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm just checking that I have a drama bomb and a hurt them more in store. With
Oh,
that,
fantastic.
you are brought out, and Reggie is going to drop one of the kickstands, which lowers a beautiful brass pair of step stools up into this carriage. He holds the door open for you with a genuflection and allows you to head inside. Now, the inside is lined with this bright purple velvet that is kind of gathered in a diamond patch formation everywhere throughout. The curtains are this beautiful silk of matching color that give a regal tint to the city. It's a thin silk, almost more of a veil than anything else, and the light that comes in from the nearby street light paints the inside of your flesh. Well, pardon me, the outside of your flesh, the inside of the carriage, this kind of rough royal color. This is how the rich live. And as you sit down, there's an audible sigh that escapes your lips. The most comfortable seat that you've ever sat on is being pulled by a horse. Interesting. Straight there, ma'am?
Yes, please.
It will take us a little bit of time to reach there, going the back ways.
Excellent.
With that, he will shut the door, latch it for your safety, which it is unlatchable from the inside as well. And we'll
Kaylin will actually quickly mention to him, "Oh, just take care. We've had some issues with people recently."
Not a problem, ma'am. Everything will be fine. And with that, he kicks himself into gear and climbs up by the horses and gives them a prod, taking you along the street. Now, from this angle, it is rather difficult to make it up. However, He takes you to Brassward Station. And there actually is a place, a way for carriages to be carried up along the old train routes. The horses are trained, no pun intended, to be all right with this. And slowly, surely, you are going to climb up into the heights. Now, the Sellers Opera House is not in Bellefountain. It is, in fact, part of Fairtown. Just there on the edge of Hamelin. A lovely region accessible to all members of the public. Now, the Opera House is quite large. The old stonework is, old. It's barely 150 years old. And as you look at it, it is quality dwarven craftsmanship with an elvish flair. A blend of different designs and iconography as well, with these beautiful cast statues bearing witness above. Looking down, you can see that there are several watching figures looking down upon you, including... can anybody give me a history roll?
Oh, absolutely. I can try.
You can try.
Go for it.
I can try. How's it? You said history? That's a 9.
9.
Let's see. I get
22.
a big old bonus.
24 again.
Oh shit, really? Oh my god. Okay, so hold on.
19.
Just 1 second. Okay, so then that is going to be... Okay, and 1 second. So I think all... What was the lowest roll there?
Probably my 9.
Yeah, that was probably it. Okay. So as you are looking up, you will see that the statues that are lining the upper walkway are actually new. Newer, anyway. Within the past 20 years, these statues are the cast likenesses of Comomir and Burien Celes, Ashfield, and Bianca's parents, who died tragically in a, what's been seen as a mugging. Not very far away from the Opera House, actually, during some of the dark days of the town. Their statues were put up there in order to remember them and the good that they did for the city. Now, as you're approaching, Reggie is going to take you directly up into one of the lanes that is designed specifically for those of privilege. You're dropped out front, and if you'd like to, you can head over to Roll20 right now.
I see some familiar faces on the Roll20.
Probably. I only have so many icons.
Cute.
It's true.
That's funny.
It's cute.
As you approach, you can hear the sound of music playing inside. There we go. And let me just quickly...
Everybody who's everybody's here.
That's true. Music is playing as you approach, and you all should have control of your characters at this point to move your icons. Reminder that even though we are using maps, describe things as if you are physically not seeing the map, because we have people watching who may not be able to visually see the map or playing on or listening on podcasts. If you don't have access... Who's not? Robin, you don't?
I don't see tokens. I see the tokens.
Okay.
I don't see my token.
I see us.
I just refresh the page
Scroll
and I see them.
down.
Yep. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Here we are.
Right, so, at the bottom of the screen there. So, as you approach,
I still don't see it, but I'm just gonna reload quick because I don't see tokens at the bottom. I just see there's the map too. I was just seeing tokens. Fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I refreshed.
I
it,
only have so
everything
many
came
commoners, by the way, so I had to use what I could. And thank you very much to James for providing this for me. So James did all of this work. Our good friend, Mr. Gibby. Otheon, good to see you there, buddy. By the way, James was once killed by Rainbow Dash.
Chat knows.
Chat knows. And chat will never let you go.
James basically called us out on that, so I was like, well, fine, copy paste this shit. I can just do it.
I was messing up typing it, and so James was like, haha, Robin, you suck, you're not doing it right. So I'm like, copy paste then, James.
Oh, anyway. So, back to the game. So thank you, James. You did a great job on this. So, as you approach, there are dozens and dozens of people that are milling around, preparing to head in. The bells are tolling that you still have... you still have at least 10 to 15 minutes before the first curtain call. Not curtain call. Before the first call to take your seats. Now, mind you, there are a lot of people who are milling around out here. I didn't set the map up so that you'd have to walk up and engage with everyone individually. But as you approach, you head through the main doors, and a couple of ushers will hold them open for you. Ladies, each of them say in unison, bowing. And one of them, actually, as soon as you walk inside, a tall, for his stature, tall halfling will approach you dressed in a full suit with tails.
Good evening, ladies. Do you have your tickets on you? Oh, my apologies. Of course, please.
He says, guiding, actually reaching a hand up to Lucky.
Miss Hargrove, of course, please.
What? Oh, pardon. Yeah. Hold on one moment. Let me double check something. Actually, pause there one sec, as I just double check one last thing. Boop, 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 boop.
Lucky's confused. I'm pretty sure you're trying to imply that they're mistaking her for,
I believe so, yes. I'm just double checking something real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry, I've got
Lucky's fancy.
Lucky's fancy.
Fancy.
There we go. Sorry, I meant Hagen.
Yes, Mrs. Hagen. Please, head inside. No need for a ticket. Your seats are where they should be.
Right. Sure.
Now, we did have tickets, right?
You do have your tickets on you, yes.
We do have tickets.
Kaylin's gonna kind of look at them and hold out her ticket.
Yes.
These are our tickets.
Yes. So you are going to be in Cele's box. Excellent seats. Please. To my left, your right, there is a stairwell that should lead you up. But however, that will take you through the common seats. What you are going to do is not take the one directly there, but around the corner is another set that will take you directly up into the box.
Oh, okay. Right.
Kaylin will proceed down that way.
Can I make just a perception using my eye for detail?
Yes, you may.
Feet to just kind of take a look around and see if I can spot anything. Make a perception check. To spot hidden creatures or objects. So she's specifically looking for like syndicate members or shady looking folk.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm gonna use my inspiration because I rolled a 2 on that.
Okay.
That's much better. That will be a 23.
There are so many people here, it's actually quite difficult to pick that out. But you do get the sense that someone is watching you. Down the main hallway, the front doors of the leading into the theater are wide open, and you can see that one of the ushers is watching you intently. She's a human woman with blonde hair pulled back into a ponytail and is wearing a red vest, as are all of the other ushers here. But there's something about her that strikes you. She's watching you very intently. You get an absolute vibe and see that on the edge of her neck she has a bandage covering just under the high collar of her jacket. Oh, pardon me, it would, she's wearing a vest, it would be the high collar of her shirt. Perhaps covering some type of marking.
Like a black spider tattoo?
You never know.
How far away is it? Like at the kind of like looking down the main kind of row? Is she like closer to the stage then, or?
There we go. So she's about 20 feet ahead of you.
Okay. She's gonna pretend to be looking for her seat and try and like casually bump up against her to try and get a sniff.
Okay, sounds good. As you approach the double doors leading into the opera, she will turn around toward you. Go ahead and make me a deception roll.
Deception? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Deception. You just got deception.
And actually,
C-E.
I need to head inside of the opera house.
That's going to be a 23 for deception.
That is still covering. There we go. Cool.
So kind of like pretending to like look down at her ticket and trying to like read and be like, oh, sorry, and kind of like not see her and kind of bump in is kind of the vibe that she was going for.
Okay.
Try and like see if she can get whiff if she smells like clothes.
As you bump into her, you will get a strong whiff. She does not smell like clothes. She smells like a bit of sweat and sword oil. She smells like perhaps she had been recently sharpening something.
And is there any like if I look around sneakily, can I see any more of her like collar if it's covering
the bandage
something?
is attached fairly well.
Okay.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Are you looking for your seat?
Yes.
May I see your ticket, please?
Yes.
Oh, miss, you're actually on the wrong floor. You should head around the corner and up along the far stairwell, hugging the rightmost wall. Left if you're headed out.
Thank you. And she'll slip her a gold.
Oh, very generous.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful show.
Thank you. And then she'll kind of go back to the party and be like, got funky vibes from her. She's been sharpening a sword. Be on guard.
I mean, pretty much anyone here could be. And the ones who are good, we would have no idea, right?
True.
Now, as you head up, there are a number of people milling around. There are butlers and waitstaff heading around with hors d'oeuvres and glasses of champagne. As you approach, one of them will turn, picking a blanket. One of them says, offering a tray out to Lucky. Miss Hagen.
Sure. She's gonna try and figure out what the heck it is, and then she's gonna eat it.
It's a wiener wrapped in some dough.
She will grab 3 more.
Poblano
Great.
popper.
Bit peckish.
The what?
Poblano. It's a spicy, fairly mild, actually, pepper from the southern regions of Diami.
She'll give it a try.
It's got a bit of a bite to it. It's kind of like a green chili taste to it, with a bit of cheese stuffed inside of it.
She's just gonna keep munching on the pigs in a blanket.
The champagne to any of you lovely ladies.
No, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll have a glass as well.
Please.
Blending in.
Exactly, it's the show.
As you
For opera.
Lucky as you sniff it, the bubbles are going to go directly up your nose and tickle.
All right. A glass just to, pretend and
Yeah.
pretend sip and, like,
Pinky's out, ladies.
Into a
Pinky's
plant.
out.
A guard at the base of the stairwell in front of you eyes you. You can see the Sellers family crest on the front of his mail shirt.
Aylin will hand over her ticket.
Yes,
You
of
should be
course.
expected.
You are. He takes a long look at Lucky, furrowing his brow, looks over his shoulder, back at the stairwell, and then back at Lucky. Have a good show, he says.
I have business with the Sellers family.
Yes, I imagine so. And he'll step aside. In his arm, he's carrying, or he's propped up a large, sharpened halberd.
Kalen's starting to get a little like, what is going on with everybody's reactions to Lucky?
Do you head up the stair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stairwell is winds up this this eastern wing, and as you reach the top, you will head into a box seat. Now, there are 4 luxurious seats at the front, giving a prime view of the opera as it is being prepared behind a lavish red curtain, and there are 4 chairs placed behind. Lucky's going up there too?
Yeah.
All right. Placed behind as well for you to sit in. And as you enter, Bianca and Ashfield Sellers are sitting next to each other there. Ashfield on the right, Bianca on the left, as well as a pair of people sitting in the other 2 chairs. One of them is a large, boisterous man with a broad beard. Human, in his 40s, almost 50s. Gray beginning to streak at the mustache, with a broad shovel beard coming out of the base of his chin. He turns around and blinks as Lucky walks in the door. The Sellers twins will turn around as well and say, "Good, you made it," Bianca says. "Oh, it's them again. Did you bring any booze?" Ashfield says, smiling at your champagne, as well as the curves you're displaying in your dresses. It's at that point that you see a bit of the confusion, for the center seat between the man with the shovel beard and Bianca, a young tabaxi woman, turns around and looks at Lucky, which is like looking into a mirror.
Whoa.
"Wow," she says.
Wow.
In all ways, this tabaxi is identical to Lucky.
Ooh. Are you me?
No, I'm me. Are you trying to be me?
No, are you trying to be me?
What? No, are you trying to be me?
No, I don't even know. Who are you?
Lucky,
This is Lucky Sixpence.
where were you born, Lucky?
I'm not sure, but apparently my siblings got drowned by the person. There was a whole thing with a prison. I don't know.
Excuse me,
You
you
look like twins.
Apparently.
do look a striking amount alike, the man with the shovel beard says.
These are the ones I was talking about earlier.
I can see that.
Are you my sister?
I wish that you would have said, "Algernon, it's fine."
I'm sorry, who are you? I don't mean to be rude, but...
Are you my sister? Are we related?
You can make me a history
Did you
roll right
survive?
now. I think so. I'm running Cloud Hagen.
I do not recognize that name.
You know what? I was going to say you probably do, but it's Lucky, so you probably don't. Everyone else, actually, you know what? You don't even need to roll as soon as she says that. The Hagens are the lords of Hamlin, the Midlands area. That is Algernon Hagen. And his wife. Running Cloud.
How old are you?
A surprise.
How old are you?
I don't know.
How old do you think Lucky is, actually?
Probably like... Oh god, hold on.
Because I forgot how old Lucky actually is.
I've kind of forgotten too, but that's kind of in character. I have... All I have listed is... No, I just have her age, like her other stuff. I think she's like 25, 26.
Okay, so that is what Running Cloud will say. And also, I really love Art Breeder because I actually did just make the Sellers twins
Amazing.
today.
Nice.
And you know what's
Nice.
great? Making twins, because you literally just slide the gender one direction and you're done.
Yep.
Take a little
Nice.
bit of the makeup off, not all of it, because Ashfield likes to look his best. But like,
Yes, he's a pretty boy.
He's a
It
very
was
pretty
good for
boy.
everyone.
Honestly, I think I managed to nail it here with those two. But
Art Breeder's great. I
Art
love it.
Breeder's so good. Y'all should use it if you're not using it for your role-playing games. Just be consistent. And so she'll say, around how long ago?
You came into my house 25 years ago. That's probably about, I'd say you were less than a year old. My wife was found, nearly drowned in one of the drainage rivers.
Oh,
My family took her in and raised her, gave her a job. I was a boy of 12, 13 at that time.
so
When I went away to my service and returned, she had grown into quite a lovely woman. And well, some things just happen.
that's great. But you might be my sister then. Cause I mean, I was rescued from when the
but no,
the
then you
prison
might.
guard.
But you might be my sister then. She says.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably accurate.
Yeah, you seem very similar.
You seem very similar.
Personality-wise.
We seem very similar.
Round of drinks to celebrate family reunion.
That is the best
Family
idea you've
reunion.
ever
Had Ashfield says. I don't even know who you are, but guess what? I like that. I like that. Hey, Garcon, can I get another drink up here? He shouts down over the banister, and a butler is going to grab his tray and just hurry up the side. You're gonna love this. The butler comes and says, yes, here, champagne, my lord? You can't beat the service. Hey, why don't you break into the special vintage we had prepared for tonight? I'd like a nicer red when we're watching some of the battle scenes.
Absolutely, sir.
Hi. Do you want to be a vampire? Do you drink blood?
I wish.
So you do want to be a vampire?
Oh, I would love to be a vampire. Sleep up, I practically am already, sleep all day, party all night, spend all my time with young maidens that are just, well, dying to be,
So,
and
the family connection there.
Bianca will elbow him at that point. That's enough. Thank you so much for coming here. I really appreciate it, she says. I hope that you, made it in all right.
Yes, certainly.
Yes, yes, we
Reg-
did.
Reggie's
Not a
quite
problem.
good. Well, looks like we'll be starting the show soon. Please sit and enjoy. This should be a very relaxing evening for you.
I certainly hope so.
Has your have you had an okay week since we last met?
It's been very
Been eventful.
eventful and upsetting at times.
Yes.
Which I think Kaylin's gonna take her ticket and be writing on the back of it with like a little stub of charcoal pencil or something. Because now that the way that it's set up, she's not gonna be able to say anything out loud. So she's gonna write on it that there's a plot to poison you before the love scene or something.
As you're doing that, Running Cloud will just keep looking at Lucky.
I'll let them keep distracting everybody.
She raises like a hand. You just give her a
You're
5.
just gonna play mirrors.
Yeah, high five.
You're fuzzy.
So are you.
It's true. I am.
So
That's
Kelly,
That's how I like it. Her husband says and drinks his champagne.
Huh.
Well, this sounds like a fantastic family reunion.
Miss, Pence?
6 pence.
6 pence. Do you like fish?
Yeah.
You should come by sometime. There's, some river trout that we're having for dinner next week. Freshly caught.
That sounds nice.
Have you ever had rainbow river trout? Fresh?
I've had trout.
The rainbow river trout is the best. The skin is incandescent. It's all of the fatty oils. You cut it open, it just glistens. Sashimi. It's the best.
Bless you.
No, it's a way of eating the fish raw that's still safe for consumption.
I mean, you can just eat the fish raw.
This is what I've been telling him. You just eat the fish and then it's fine. But
Just eat
apparently
the
it's not ladylike, but you just eat the fish.
Just eat the fish. Why would you go through all the extra time and effort?
I don't know.
I like you.
I like you.
Weird.
Weird?
Usually people don't say that. They usually say like, "Lucky, shut up," or like, "Lucky, what's wrong?
They say
What are you
Cloud,
doing?"
shut up. Well, at least they did before we became a lady, and now they just kind of whisper it.
As if we can't hear that.
Right? We got big ears. You want to trade outfits and then pretend to be me for a while?
God, no.
Yes. Absolutely.
No. Lucky, no.
So she'll start like, unzip me, dear. What? What? Maybe we should consider this later, perhaps.
Lucky, maybe after.
Maybe after
the show?
opera.
The show.
Why?
Because of the thing.
To distract everybody.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I guess people do want to watch the show.
on the stage, you'll hear the sound
It's a
of
great opera.
the court music will begin to settle, and it'll just be the sound of people chatting and drinking surrounding you. The lights will begin to dim around stage as a man takes center. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, newcomers, oldcomers, and those traveling from distant lands, I welcome you wholeheartedly to the Sellers Opera House. Tonight, you will be seeing one of Susillo's most esteemed productions, The Rigors of War. This production is brought to you, of course, by the Sellers family, with generous gifts and donations therein. We would also like to thank the following groups for their patronage. Irrigonian Pale Ale, for quenching thirst. Anonymous Donor, known only as Glimglam. Let's see. Also, the Majestic Elevator Foundation. And, of course, the Prize Pig Pub Chain. We thank you for all of your patronage. Now please, settle into your seats. The show will be beginning in just a moment. And we will transport you into the danger and excitement of the Toulousian Civil War. And as he's giving a speech, Robin, what are you saying? What are you doing?
I was wondering about just the box, like, because I noticed like there's like people beside our box, but are we like in like walls? Like
this is walled in right here. So basically
the walled ins.
It
so
is,
we can
yes.
just see it out front. Cool.
So basically, yeah, it's literally a box. So there's the way in from behind. Besides that, it's about a 30. Actually, let me think. It'd be about a 30-foot drop.
Yeah.
Down
Cool.
to the main floor, which if you're looking at the map, basically it opens to the main theater, and then there is basically the expensive seats, which are two overhanging wings on either side. Across the way, you can actually see a couple more nobles sitting across over here. If you want to make me a, and I'm just using whatever icons I have for those of you who are watching at home.
Strahd's not at the concert.
Strahd, I mean, he might be.
He likes a good show.
Oh, okay.
All right. Also, hello, Raid. Good to see everybody. If you make me a history roll, you can see if you can recognize anybody over there.
I just want to get a good vantage of like, Yesfine is just like in work mode. Like, what? Something's gonna go wrong, and something's gonna happen for us not doing this thing. So she wants to know, basically, what she can. Any way things are gonna happen badly. I'm really not eloquent tonight my words, with my word mouth. That's a 15 for history.
15? You're pretty sure you recognize Lilial Hargrove, the lady who is in charge of the Hargroves, the lady who is in charge of the Veld, the farming area outside of town, and she appears to be sitting next to. Next to Freyr Goldbrand, the noble who is in charge of Fairtown, the merchant district that this is bordering on. Seems like most of the nobles are here. You don't see anybody from Foundation Tower, of course, because that seat is empty. And you don't see Sir Varen Cray of Grey Neighbor. But seems the rest are here. You think you'd probably heard a rumor, I'm going to give this to you, that that Saskia Goldbrand, Freyr's wife, is presently indisposed at the moment. She's pregnant with their 4th child and is at home taking it easy as she's reaching her 9th month. Lucky, you have a question.
Not so much a question, but I want it to be known that as soon as the opera starts, Lucky is fixated on it and like completely on the edge of her seat.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so as this is happening here, what you are going to do is... oh, cool. People in the chat are playing Call of Cthulhu. As you are looking at this, the play is going... the opera is going to start. The lights are going to dim as the magical sconces that hold sway in an immense candelabra over the center of this room begin to dim, casting long shadows. Yes, Finney, as you look around, you will see that there is there's a wide stage beneath that looks like it opens to an even wider one as the curtains draw back. Overhead, you can see that some of the spotlights that begin to go up are manned by an obscured but not completely hidden set of catwalks above you. And you see various stagehands working the lights, casting brilliant spotlights onto the stage. The audience begins to become hushed as this happens. And Bianca leans over across Running Cloud, who is still fixated on her twin, and says, "After the play or during intermission, we should talk, Hagen." Of course, yes. But let's enjoy this while we can. And with that... the opera begins. Can I get a history roll off of everybody?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, surprisingly well. That's a 14.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Oh, there we go.
15 for history.
15?
9 for me.
Okay, 9 for you. So so we got a 15. You got, what'd you get, Kel?
I got a natural 20.
Oh, yes, you would. And what did you get, Lucky?
14.
Okay. And by the way, yes, I did find all of the music for this game.
Nice.
Amazing.
You have no idea what's going on, yes, Vinay. This is not your style of show, and you're so busy just looking for what is happening here. What is going on, right? Like what's the vantage? What's the mark? As you're watching, a young man walks on stage, dressed in a suit of armor. He begins to sing. He tells a tale of woe. He had traveled, seeking fame, fortune, and glory, and became a knight under the kingdom of Talos, soon to be called Telusia, stretching from the Thessalian Sea all of the way to the island nation of Thestorel. And so, he came here to seek stability, to fight in the conflict between old Talos and the new threat at the western coast. And then begins to launch into this story of blood and woe. Dozens of people in armor begin doing a Grecian-style choir as they step on stage out of darkness and smoke. You can see that in the pit, there are a pair of people who are not playing instruments, but instead are casting spells as covertly as they can to enhance the setting. Prestidigitation, smoke bombs, anything to this, as the men begin to sing back and forth, clearly in denoted armor, some wearing blackened armor, some wearing shining steel armor to represent the Telusian capital. They sing at each other in a counterpoint. A high tenor, a low bass, back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. It's riveting, and it tells a bit of Telusia's history from gods, 500-600 years ago. There's even a brief mention as the war continues of some historic events. You see, as the two armies fight through song against each other, the music begins to grow a bit darker. And above, you see illuminated in the rafters, something else become visible. The two sides war with each other, and the spotlight illuminates a pair of beautiful women, one with skin as dark as the night, another with shining red blonde hair. As the goddesses Vela and Nirn test the armies against each other, playing a game of chess with each other. They sing in a counterpoint above the armies as they float there. You're not sure if it's on wires or by levitation. Their harsh sopranos and Vela's Coleotoro punctuate each other, adding a harsh melody, a conflict, a beautiful harmony above the sound of the clashing armies. And there, after an hour of this, back and forth and back and forth, and the introduction of the love interest, the conflict is ended. As Vela is triumphant. And a wizard, or something like it, joins the fray. And Nirn vanishes. The day is saved. The Dark Goddess is gone. A wizened old man with a bald head in the center of the room sings about the coming peace. The Old Sage, a key feature in Telusian opera. those of you who succeeded your Kel, of course, you know that this is based very loosely on the events in Argeny some, 500, 600, 700 years ago, something like that. A long time ago. The time isn't important.
You have to make it more exciting.
It's actually a mashup of like several different events. The Teleusian Civil War was almost 800 years ago, actually.
Yeah.
And it really didn't have anything to do with the goddess Nirn being sealed away. But it's a really good way to mash that mythology together.
Story.
You know, the fact is that Edagon the Wise, right there in the middle of the stage singing, for one, didn't look like that at the time, you're pretty sure. And also, he didn't do it by himself. They needed someone with like a super bass to do this. And why not an old wizard to start it off? At that point, the first act ends with the king of Telusia coming and making peace with the villain, Zenobio. He will honor the peace and unite Telusia by marrying the king's daughter, who, of course, as you know in the first act, gave a favor to the loyal knight Severino, our protagonist, as he went into battle. He carried her handkerchief with him, which, of course, is a marriage proposal and a half, right? And at that point, the first act breaks. There's a lively cheer from the crowd.
Bravo, bravo.
I can't wait. I need to know what happens.
The music picks up again.
I'm not getting the plot really, guys. But it seems cool.
It's romantic and sad.
Okay,
I know, right? It's so sad.
What is he
I
gonna
didn't
do?
figure you for an opera lover.
What? I've never been to an opera.
You've never been to an opera?
No, this is my first one.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So glad you're enjoying it.
Bianca will excuse herself. We have about 15 minutes. Ladies, would you mind accompanying me to Powder?
I think we can do that.
Sure?
Yes.
Yes, I was just thinking of that.
Let's go.
So it's not over. That wasn't.
No,
the
no,
end.
it's not over. It's just an intermission.
There's a few more.
Just a
Okay.
break. Yes. There's 3 acts.
As you head out.
You won't miss it.
As you head out, she will take you to a large and ornate bathroom lined with marble on the top floor there for the upper crust. As you head inside, she will quickly check the various stalls and nod to you to latch the door. Lucky, did you go along too?
Oh yeah.
Come back quickly, your sister says. Or your doppelganger, whatever. I read your note.
Good.
I'll keep that in mind. I thank you for coming tonight.
We wanted you to be warned. Said something about the love scene. They left a threatening note on our doorstep, basically.
What do you know? We don't have long, maybe a minute. Give me everything you can. What do you tell her? Give me the quick bullet points.
That we were asked to poison her. We're not doing it. It's not here. We think Magnus Vex was poisoned by the same poison. Black spiders. Love scene. Also,
The dawn.
I think, didn't we see that, or Yesfine told us about...
Yes, I told her about the
suspicious
usher. Yeah, the suspicious usher. I can't speak.
They could literally have anybody hidden here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll make sure
We need to be on guard.
please pay attention.
There's a failsafe, I'm sure.
I don't have long, but I need to tell you. I believe that this is all of the work of a single man.
Yes, I agree.
The dawn of the Black Spiders. wretched man named Don Carmine. He was responsible for my parents' murder.
And should be careful of anything that you do consume tonight.
Of course.
If your brother has a specific special wine, they might very well know and
Poison it.
not hinge it on us. Especially since we've now walked away with you privately.
Yes.
I see.
Why do you suspect Don Carmine?
Because I've made it my mission since inheriting my parents' fortune to root out every last ounce of power that he has in the city. I believe that he was just a kappa back when they died, but he has since usurped power from whatever previous Don Luciano. As far as I understand, under Luciano, there was a balance. But this newcomer went rogue. And he's been expanding operations for the past decade since they died.
Okay.
The symbiotic nature of crime in the city is overbalanced. It's no longer smugglers. It's no longer pimps. It's murderers, traffickers. Yes, Christine.
I would like to insight to see how much... I don't know, how trustworthy she seems.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I guess. 21.
21? She seems fairly impassioned right now. She seems pretty trustworthy.
Okay.
She's kind of...
I'm trying to decide if, like, we should hint at the idea that maybe Magnus Vex was onto the fact that Hexador House was more important than it seems.
Sure. It's up to you. Right now, she seems like she's trustworthy about this stuff. I don't know if you'd want to reveal that secret to somebody, but, I mean,
That's
if
fair.
you feel like that would be a bargaining chip to deepen your relationship, maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I'm trying to kind of decide. I'm not really sure.
We don't have long. Hello? Is there anyone in there? I do have to use the powder room. You hear an
Occupied.
old woman say. It's been occupied for almost 5 minutes.
The shrimp did not go well. You don't want to be in here.
Oh.
Stay away from the shrimp.
We don't have long, but I thank you. How did you come across this knowledge?
They tried to hire us. I am a good person.
You are.
I have killed when I've been attacked. First. I've never set out to murder.
She'll reach
The
forward and...
fact that they would try and use our circumstance against us in such a way.
Psst.
Very suspicious.
Yeah.
What
So
were you
now,
saying?
of course,
Yeah.
Lucky's just kind of like, well, now, of course, we might be on, their list of people to murder. So, hey, at least we're all in the same boat.
Bianca will reach out and put a hand on Kaylin's arm. What circumstance? Can I help?
Debt of Hexador House is enormous. And from what I see, it looks like it was potentially contrived by black spiders.
But why? It's just a school. The property's not even in a useful place. It's on the edge of the hole.
I've come across hints that it may have been an important to the city political structure at one point, 100 years ago.
How would that have...
Because the hole was not always a hole.
It's fair.
Or something.
If we survive
So I think
this...
that's about the most.
Yeah.
Kaylin's just going to say hints sort of thing.
Yeah. I agree. I was waiting to see how much you were gonna say.
If we survive this and get out of this, you're my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you for not killing me.
We will.
You seem to be the
Welcome.
most level-headed, forward-thinking.
I was gifted with foresight.
Honestly, I
Good.
would like somebody who cares for the city with power.
I'll do anything I can to help you in Hexador House.
Thank you.
If we survive, of course.
Of course.
What? Maybe we should leave early.
You're right, no shrimp can be that bad. Oh, I thought you meant the bathroom.
No, I meant the opera.
Yes, we could leave.
We could.
I can't. I have to see this out.
Why?
Yes, your obligations. Well,
Tonight's an important anniversary.
what's the anniversary?
Kaylin's just gonna kind of look at you like,
Don't just ask what someone's anniversary is for. You're supposed to know.
Hey, this is important. Obviously, they wanted this done here for a reason.
He wants to make a statement, I guess, on my parents' death anniversary.
I'm so sorry.
You will find that I am a far more tenacious woman than I am given credit for. Besides,
I mean, isn't that why they're trying to kill you?
No, I said you would find it, but yes, I think so.
I think that counts as credit, doesn't it?
Besides, I've got you here to help me.
We'll do our best.
Did you know I
Someone
have
that-
a sister?
I had an inkling. You seemed very familiar. I did mention it when you came up that there was someone who I needed you to meet.
Yes.
But I wasn't sure. I didn't want to get your hopes up over nothing. I mean, no offense, but Tabaxi are...
There are different people.
They're different people. Yes, I honestly haven't met enough to know how different you all look.
Yeah, well, yeah, me neither.
I mean, there are maybe 100 of you in all of Port Echidna.
I might be related to all of them for all I know.
Your parents might have been very prolific.
Or, like, aunts or uncles or something. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, please return to your seats. The opera will be resuming shortly.
Okay. We've got 5 minutes to get back.
I have to quickly speak with Lord Hagen.
Okay.
It's also one of the only times I have everybody here at once where I can speak with them. Yes,
Don't let him murder you.
I'll do my best.
Okay.
But if he does, get him back for me, okay?
That's why we're here. Yes.
With
You're
that,
very brave.
she'll, You're very kind. It's easy to be brave with people like you behind me. There's a line of 6 women outside of the washroom by the time that you go. A couple of them, their knees are knocking around back and forth, back and forth.
Are they really going to complain because we're with Bianca Celis? I mean,
One of them will start to and then go...
Yes,
I
yes,
hope you're
being able
feeling
to
better,
kind of
man.
like hold her stomach and crouch over like in pain. Being like, oh, you don't, it's so bad. The shrimp. Don't eat the shrimp. Don't eat the shrimp.
Kaylin's gonna pretend she doesn't know you.
Okay. And as you head back, you see that your sister is looking out of the back room at you like, you didn't leave. You're still here.
Yeah.
You want to change outfits?
Yes.
Not yet. That's probably not a good idea.
It's
I
gonna be
can't
fun,
hear
it'll be
anybody.
great.
I can't hear anybody taller than this or shorter than this. Shorter than this. She'll hold her hand up.
Same.
Same. Do you scuttle into the bathroom and change outfits?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then in that case, you know what? I'm not going to bother switching your tokens. But okay, so you head into the bathroom and just start stripping publicly in front of the stalls are busy. Okay. Meanwhile, Bianca will take the husband aside and begin talking with him just outside. And as you are waiting, you're still hanging out in the box? I'm guessing all three of you.
Yeah.
Can I try to eavesdrop?
You can try. Yeah, make me a perception roll.
Perception, okay.
Kaylin's going to try to
keep an eye on Bianca and the area around her because I have distance spell and shield.
Sounds good.
That's gonna be persuasion or not perception. That's gonna be a dirty 20.
So you'll be able to hear little bits of it. Do you really think this is the time? I don't think that there's any other time. It's so hard to get all of us here. I need to know that I have your support. We have to be a united front. The city is falling. Slowly but surely.
I don't think it's that bad.
From where you are, I doubt you can.
And from where you are, it's better? From in your high tower?
Bell Fountain does not give you some type of advantage. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to ask you for your help and support. Everyone else agrees in the cause.
You say everyone else like it's literally everyone else in this building.
No, it's everyone else at the Lord's table. Algernon, I need you. Port Echidna needs a leader. We need to be able to overcome this, or else the city's going to fall. Like it's almost fallen twice in the past.
I just don't see it. And where I'm from, in the center of it all, no. No, I think this is hysteria.
Well, now who's being sexist?
I didn't mean like that. I mean that this is overblown. People aren't getting murdered in the... I'm sorry, I didn't...
Well, I suppose you are a bit further away from it. Fine. It's your choice. I hope you'll come around someday.
I'm sorry.
Well, I hope you enjoy the opera. It, doesn't have a happy ending. Sorry to spoil it. Then again, most things don't in this city. Meanwhile, sitting inside of the room, hey, so, you, Pippi Long talking. Riverstone. I see you at the, at the Port Echidna. You know, the little dancing bar down in Grey Neighbor. I've been there before.
Yeah, probably.
Are you the one that, does the fan dance with the, what's the joke? The gnome with gnome clothes? Is that you?
That's the best you could come up with?
No, that's actually an actor. That's not you? I thought it was,
No.
Wow. I look forward...
No, I hold Pippi's sea shanty sing-alongs on Saturday nights.
Sea shanties? Those are really
They're
big
a
with the
thing.
kids these days. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, we're a port city.
Yeah.
Gets the sailors drinking.
Look, down there at the Dick Dock, that's all they talk about. Okay? It's just sea shanties, as far as you can see.
Uh-huh.
What? It's true.
No.
Oh, as far as we can hear. Look, I'm just saying. You're a musician. That's right. I remember now.
Yes.
I would like you to drink with me.
Oh, no.
I would like you to drink with me, and the Lord's request should not be ignored. Come on, what are you afraid? I'm going to charm you?
No.
You'd be surprised. Miss, Kaylin.
Yes.
Care to split a bottle of, Fandelian Red?
I would be willing to take a glass.
Good. And one of the help comes in with a bottle of a magical Fandelian Red and pops the cork on it and pours a glass for each of you.
I would like to sniff it in the way of like swirling.
Sure, you can make me
I'm
a
specifically
perception
looking for the smell of bitter almond.
Yeah.
roll. You can make me a perception roll.
Really get into
22.
the bouquet there, Christine.
22?
Yeah.
No, yours is fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna smell it too.
Okay, perception roll.
Oh, I got a 20 again.
Did you?
Oh my god. Yes, I did.
It always tastes a little sunny.
Do I get any hints? Have I gotten any hints of like that sort of scent at all yet tonight?
No, you haven't. And yours is fine. It's actually like this.
Okay.
This wine's worth more than you make in a month, Pippi.
Okay. Let's sip. Sip.
It's
Sippy,
nice.
sippy.
It's like
It's fine.
it's sunny.
Yeah.
It's a sunny beverage. It's like
It's always sunny in Fandalia.
it's like honestly, I would say that on like it's a sunny drink. Like one might call it a sunny D.
Okay.
I was reaching for that, but I got it there. I got there.
Yeah.
All right, a minute
Kaylin will
later.
just sip at it.
A minute later, Hargrave will go and sit back down, as will Bianca. Oh, great, the wine's here. Wonderful. And she'll pick up a glass and just hold it in her lap. And then a moment later, Running Cloud Hargrave will come back inside and grab... Oh, pardon me, Hargrove. I keep going Hargrave. It's Hargrove. Wait, no, it's not. It's Hagen. I keep doing Hagen. Hagen. So Running Cloud Hagen will... I made them all H names and I shouldn't have. Running Cloud Hagen will step back into the room dressed in her finery. Lucky, what do you do? That's you.
Yeah, Lucky's gonna go and sit down in her seat.
Her seat, or are you going to sit in the nicer seat?
In Running Cloud's seat.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, she's pretending to be Running Cloud now. She's going for it.
Okay.
This is great.
I mean, we knew they went to the bathroom to change.
Yeah,
so
we
we're
knew
gonna
they were
assume
doing
that.
this.
All right, then I will just...
So, I think also like Kaylin's gonna kind of start keeping track of everybody in the box for like protection purposes. Because she's starting to kind of wonder
Yeah.
Yep.
what's
Yeah, I was
going
wondering.
on
I was
here.
wondering about. It's probably too late. I was gonna try. I was wondering if I should have asked for an insight roll on the end of that conversation to see what kind of vibe I got from him, other than disagreement.
Sure, go ahead.
Vibe check, yo. Vibe check, Hagen. I get 26.
26.
Oh
Angry.
Angry.
You get the sense that Hagen might not be a bad guy, but he doesn't like a little girl like this stepping up and telling him what to do. He's almost 1.5, almost twice her age, and she thinks that she can boss him around. Like this? No. Plenty of respect for women, but this is a foolish little bitch. Is the type of vibe that comes off of him.
Okay,
Like-
but not like murder plot.
I don't think you can get that with a roll. I think that he would be happy for her not to be around anymore.
Okay.
The level of that might depend.
Okay.
But you would say there is some animosity there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And you also get the sense that he probably didn't like her parents very much either. The way that he kind of dropped that. And with that, the lights begin to dim again. once more, the voices begin to trail off. And we begin the second act. The two star-crossed lovers enter on stage. In the center of them are two men, the king and Zenebria. They begin to sing, back and forth. All the while, the two lovers circle as they sing. Every time they try to get close to each other, though, their respective blocker. The king steps up to the knight, embracing him in the arm like a son or a loyal servant. The villain leans forward and kisses her hand, blocking her, dancing with her. Constantly kept away from each other. Over and over this occurs. The plot gets even thicker. As they're led off stage, you can see Zenebria making arrangements to overthrow the king. For once he is married to the king's daughter. An accident, he sings, shall be all it takes to seize the throne that I am owed. And then I will be the king of all of Toulousia. Of course, he's singing this all in his deep bass. And there will be no one to stop me. Of course, arrogant as he is, he explains his plan too loudly, and the girl, Valeria, hears. She knows that there is a plot amidst, but is not sure how to share this. So she goes to the one person that she knows who can help. After singing to every other cast member, I need you to help me, and of course being turned down because, oh, you're just imagining things. So she goes to the one person she can trust, the loyal knight. They begin to sing together, and it is at that point that their love song begins to echo throughout the opera house. They sing to each other, having decided, no matter what, to be together. For if they run off together, this marriage, this plot can never work, even if it plunges the country at war. Perhaps they'll be spared. Perhaps the countries will be guided towards light. It's not selfish to love with a full heart, they sang. And as they sing to each other and call out their love into the night, can I get a perception? Actually, this is going to be a passive perception. As they are singing, they embrace each other on stage, going back and forth, dancing as they sing, arms out, arms in, arms out, arms in. Yes, Fine?
Mm-hmm.
You will see that the spotlights above are keeping a beautiful track on them. This is so well lit. A mist is lowering from the ceiling. There's a fog that's released as they dance among the battlefield, the only place where they can find peace. And as you smell the smoke that slowly wafts down from the ceiling, you'll smell clove.
Shit.
And as they pull toward each other, they kiss. And as they kiss, you will hear a coughing noise. Yes, Pippi?
Pippi knows this opera. Is this the end?
This is the end of the second act.
Okay.
Yes.
Pippi's gonna jump on Bianca and just, hit the deck.
Okay, as you do that, you are going to hear next to her as her brother doubles over. His wine glass tumbles from his hand and shatters as you dive. Lucky, as this happens and Pippi lunges forward, Lucky, there is going to be the sound of a gunshot that rings out from the rafters. And you are going to take 15 points of piercing damage.
Oh. It's a plot to kill people.
As a shot goes wide.
Yep.
And a sudden explosion rings out as the chandelier above the center of the audience explodes in a fireball and tumbles into the crowd. And we'll pick up next session to see what happens.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah, what's up?
I was ready with your reaction shield.
Can you cast that on someone else? I believe it's only self.
I'm a sorceress. I have distant
Yo.
spell.
Oh.
I specifically said I had that at the beginning.
And does distance spell allow you to cast shield on another person?
Yes, it turns self into 30 feet.
Oh.
Hell
Then
yeah.
in that case,
So that only raises AC by 2, but that might be enough to help protect Pippi. I'm
What-
not sure.
not Pippi, Lucky.
Not Pippi. Lucky.
Oh, was it?
Lucky's
Yeah,
the one
Lucky
who
got
gets
hit.
shot.
Lucky's sitting in the front.
Oh,
Lucky's
One
sitting in the
went after
front.
running cloud or something, or you said his shot went wide, so it was aiming for Bianca and it hit Lucky instead. One of the two.
So
So-
the clove was coming from the rafters
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
where
the
the mist
catwalk.
was? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Okay,
And
sorry.
that's
I
where the
thought it
shot
hit
came from.
Thought it hit
Yeah.
Pippi.
No,
No.
it hits
hit
Lucky.
Lucky.
Are you gonna
Okay.
spend shield?
Well, that wouldn't have been targeted at them then.
What do you mean?
Well, because I was looking specifically for like Bianca
Okay.
sort of area. So if this isn't something that was targeted at her, then
I mean, like Lucky is literally in front of you.
Yeah, because Lucky's sitting in running cloud's spot. They changed clothes and Lucky went.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
don't have to
So I'm
spend the
right.
point.
You don't have to. Yeah.
You don't have to,
Lucky's
but you can if you want to. What do you?
well, I wouldn't have been. That's what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't have been paying attention to Lucky. I was paying attention to Bianca.
Yeah, but I'm still saying that
then-
Lucky is literally like right in front of you. So like she's
Okay.
like
It
It would
literally.
still affect her? It would
you would
still cover
still
her?
No,
be.
it's done on a person.
Oh.
So
It's
she's
not
saying
like
that
a generic shield. It's one person would get touched
Yeah.
with it.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, you would have
So
been
if Bianca
focusing
was
on
I would say
being
don't
Bianca.
target of it, I don't know
I
that
would
I
say don't
necessarily have
spend
been paying attention
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
To
No,
Lucky.
don't spend it then.
reflexively done it to Lucky.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you think
Yeah,
that's
no, it's-
legit? Or
I was like I just said I would be fine with it if you wanted
okay,
to do it.
sure then.
Okay.
Lucky's AC is up by 2. Does that
So
help?
what is your
deflect
AC right now, Lucky?
My AC right now with the +2 would make it 16.
16. All right. So Lucky, you don't have to take that damage. You're going to be hurled backwards.
Oh, actually, it's
by
a
this.
+5. Sorry, +5.
All right.
All right.
That's even better.
Yes, you're going to be hurled backwards. The chair is going to shatter as you are thrown to the ground with a shot that probably would have killed Running Cloud. And we'll pick up next session right there.
Woo!
All right, so
Woohoo!
yeah, and the twin plan. I know, right? It's like I'm clever. Occasionally. So that's gonna be it for tonight. This is the Secret of Hexador House. I hope you're enjoying this as like things start to progress.
Yes.
so
I'm loving how it's going.
I love this.
I think that
I've
you all.
got 10
what's
millions
happening.
in my head.
No, right? We're just like trying to figure
I'm
this
just along
out.
for the ride.
During this
Our
like
chat is
crescendo
nuts.
of music, it was like I was like, this is so intense, man.
Yeah, our own chat is just like bye 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 bye
Well,
bye bye.
chat, actually, you're really lucky because we're doing a double tap. You won't have to wait. Next episode is going to be next Saturday. So, it's only going to be a week. So, hey, it's like going to be a lot of fun.
It's like Christmas.
I'm
It's like-
excited.
So,
I'm
Yeah,
here
me
for the
too.
ride.
I'm really like
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. Like, oh my god, you did a really good job with this episode. Like,
Yeah,
the opera
I'm-
stuff was like lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Did
wondering
you
how it was going to go,
rehearse? Did you rehearse the speeches
Hold
with the music?
up.
Did you time it?
of course I did.
That's amazing. This is why I love you, Kelly. This is why I love you because you did that. Fuck, it was amazing.
You go ahead,
Robin,
Robin.
He's winking and looking to the side.
He's
Definitely.
bullshitting
He absolutely just improv that entire thing.
bullshitting us.
Oh, fine. I didn't see
A
that. I
little
wasn't
bit of
looking.
both, maybe. So hey, folks, that's gonna be it for tonight. We'll see you next time on Secret of Hexador House. Good night. Like and subscribe and smash that bell.